dogging challenge. I'm going to be introducing you guys to a buyer today, even more buyers tomorrow. And the challenge today is all going to be about what the heck is bird dogging. We're going to catch a lot of people up to speed that have no idea what it is. And I'm going to be going into whiteboarding. If you are on YouTube today, just so you know, it is August 5th, Tuesday, and we are actually live. So if you guys want to be over on the Zoom, I'm going to give you guys the link, put it in the Zoom or in the YouTube chat so you guys can pop over here and hang out in the actual Zoom if you are indeed watching this live. All right, let's hang out, have a lot of fun today. Putting that in the side. What's up, Kendrick, AMA? Good to see you guys on the YouTube channel over there. I will not be looking at the YouTube channel today. I will be looking only at the Zoom. So thank you guys so much. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to switch microphones. I totally know that this microphone will not be as good, but I'm going to switch microphones so I can jump over to a bigger whiteboard and I can explain to you guys what a bird dog is, what the role is, and all of that. Okay. All right, how are we doing? How is this audio? Does this audio sound okay? Give me a thumbs up if you guys are okay with this audio. Is it working? Give me a yes in the comments if you guys like this audio. Okay, cool. It's definitely not going to be as good as my other mic. It's a handheld. Totally get that. We are all good to go. Going to put the side chat on pause. All right, let's jump into what is a bird dog and why this is so important for you guys to learn. Bird dogging is one of the best ways to get started in real estate that I've ever known about. And I wish I knew about it when I first started. It is so simple. It's kind of painful. And what people will do is they will overthink what a bird dog is. The number one rule of bird dogging is don't overthink. That's going to be really hard for a lot of people here. Don't overthink. It's truly this simple that I'm going to break down. Okay, here's what bird dogging is. Every deal that you will ever do starts out always with a seller of that property. Could be a business, could be a house, could be an RV park, piece of land, could be whatever. That is the seller. Every single deal starts with a seller. That seller is selling a property for whatever reason. Typically, the reason they are selling is because they are in some sort of pain, foreclosure, divorce, bankruptcy. They're behind on payments. They've lost their job, relocation, whatever it may be. A lot of times, those sellers go to a real estate agent and they say, hey, real estate agent, will you sell my house on the market? They are in an agreement here to go and sell that house, and this real estate agent has 6 months to try and sell that house. That is the standard agreement that a real estate agent has to try and sell that house. Now, what I train my SubTo members to do is I train them to go and reach out to these real estate agents, usually about 100 days after this agent has listed this property. Why? Because now not only does the seller have pain, but the agent now has pain. They're saying, oh my gosh, 100 days on the market, the property has not sold. If you guys want to know what day you should reach out to agents, by the way, bird dogs don't reach out to agents, but just in case you ever want to know what day you should be reaching out to agents, Google in your area, say average days on market in my town. Okay. My average days on market in Maricopa County, which is where I live, ours is about 80 days. So if that's the average amount of time that a house sells in Arizona, I'm not going to bother an agent calling them on day 1 through 80. I want to call an agent when they start feeling a little bit of pain. Okay. When you see people online or in Facebook groups say, I'm having a hard time calling agents. Agents are very rude. Okay. Agents are rude. Agents are not answering. They're not calling me back. Any of those types of comments, I want you to understand it's because this knucklehead right here decided to call the agent on day 1 through 80 before the agent has pain. Okay. They are calling and wasting their time and wasting the agent's time. Give me a yes in the side comments here in Zoom that you understand so far where we're at. Give me a yes. Okay. Was that an epiphany for a lot of you guys going, oh my gosh, wait, I now realize that a lot of those people that are out there calling agents and complaining that they're having a hard time with agents, it's because they are preemptively calling way too soon, way too fast. They shouldn't be wasting their time doing that. They should be calling once the agent already recognizes that the market has spoken. The real estate market has spoken, and we are now on 100 days on the market. Okay, cool. So you understand what these people are doing. You understand what the heck is going on. Let's talk about what this person in the green, okay, this person in the green, we would call this person a wholesaler, what they do for a living, okay? What these people do for a living, these wholesalers, is they call agents if it's on market, and they call sellers if there is no agent involved, okay? When they are calling these agents or these sellers, they are using a series of skills that most people do not start out having. Okay, so let's touch base on what those skills are. Okay, number one, they have maybe they have money to do marketing, right? They have marketing money. All right, they have marketing money. These wholesalers can send out postcards, direct mail. They can hire cold callers. A lot of people are using a company called Prop.ai nowadays to make all their cold calls for them. You guys are into spending money, but this is about $1,000 a month. Okay, Prop.ai is going to make all your cold calls for you about $1,000 a month. That's money. And if that's you, you're like, I don't want to spend $1,000, because if you spend $1,000, you better have some skills. Because if you get a lead, let's say a seller answers that call, and that seller and you get on a phone call and you don't know how to answer that call, you just wasted your money. You just wasted your money because you don't have the skills to back yourself up. You don't have the understanding of comps. You don't have buyers. You don't have credibility, right? So of course I teach my SubTo students how to be amazing wholesalers. We even have a student that has averaged $800,000 a month in profit for the last 6 years. Okay, his name is Scott. He's out of California. Scott is awesome, but he has a badass team and he is crushing it. He has all of these skills. He has an office. He has nice branding. He has a website. He has credibility. He has all of these things that most people, when they're starting out, just simply don't have. And if that is you, I want you to type in the word "not me" in the side chat. That is not you. This wholesaler is not you right now, based on all of these things. Or Teresa says, not I. Okay, cool. Not me, not I, whatever. I don't care. Not me at all. Now, of course, could this be you at some point? Of course it sure can. But right now, in the very beginning, one of the reasons why you're having a hard time is because you are trying to be a wholesaler, and you should not be a wholesaler right out of the gate unless you have some skills. Let me explain this to you. Did I start out being a bird dog? Actually, no, I didn't. I actually started out going directly into sellers' homes and spending my time and my energy in the living room. And here's why I had that as an advantage. Why was I able to jump into the wholesaler position is because, think about this for a second. What does a contractor do? That's what I was before I came into this business. What does a contractor do on a daily basis? A contractor gets marketing. They get that marketing to get them into a living room of a homeowner. They use that relationship, build rapport, gain trust. They listen to the homeowner, and they try and figure out how to give an estimate to that homeowner, knowing that when I give that estimate or an offer, I give that estimate to the homeowner, I'm also competing against other contractors to land that job. I have to follow up. I have to revise my bid. I have to do all of those things, which also sounds just like what position? What position does a contractor essentially sound like when I describe it that way? A wholesaler. I literally was doing the activities on a daily basis of a wholesaler. So when I jumped into wholesaling, it was incredibly easy. I got my first deal in like 8 days. Why was it easy? Because I already did the hard work. I learned sales skills, negotiations. I learned all of these things before I jumped into wholesaling. For those of you guys that have never been in any sales role whatsoever, say me in the side chat, please. You have never been in sales. Understanding how to hear no 100 times before I hear a yes is not normal for you. It's foreign to you. See all the people saying me in the side chat. That is what bird dogging is for, are the people that do not understand the sales process, do not understand how to follow up. They also get very disheartened and frustrated when they don't get a yes every single time that you are doing a deal. Okay. All right. So when I jumped into the game of real estate, I already had these skills. I already had this motivation to go in and meet with the sellers in their living room. This was me. I love doing this. But what I've learned over the years is that people don't have all of this stuff right when they start. They don't have all of this. Okay. And of course, I help people, I train people, and we get them into that role of being a wholesaler that you can make $25,000, $50,000, $100,000. One of my students has a $600,000 fee they made on one wholesale deal. I've seen people make millions of dollars on one wholesale deal on big commercial stuff. So of course, at some point, getting into the wholesale box might be something that is motivating to you. But in the very beginning, that is not where you want to be, because what do we want more than anything else? Do we want to learn everything, read every book, try and learn every little thing, watch every single video, go to every seminar? Or do we want proof of concept, my friends? More than anything else, you probably are sitting here saying, I want proof of concept. If you guys want proof of concept, give me the word proof in the side chat. Who wants proof of concept? This is a real business. I know it's possible for me. I don't care where I start. I just need proof of concept right here, right now. I need proof of concept. Okay, cool. So we've got hundreds of people in the side chat saying, I want proof of concept. So again, today I will be introducing you guys to an awesome buyer at the end of this training. Those of you guys who want proof of concept, here's something really cool. Last month, we did bird dog training for 4 days in a row. We had a lady that joined SubTo at the end of the 4-day training. She ends up saying, I want to go and do bird dog deals with SubTo members. And she ends up doing a deal with Daniel Hasibi, who is coming in and talking with us today in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Daniel Hasibi is going to chat with you guys what that process looked like. So you guys know that I'm not the only one buying these deals, but I have a massive community that are also buying these deals as well. So we will be giving you guys proof of concept, not only through the stories of the people that stayed through the training last time, but we will also be showing you guys some other buyers that want to work with you and do deals with you that you can bring deals to. All right, so let's continue forward talking about bird dogging. So we understand what these people do. Wholesalers spend 99% of their time going out and finding deals, finding opportunities, negotiating, following up, CRM, sales, blah, 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 blah. This is a full-time job, my friends. So they do not have a lot of time to go out and flip their own properties. They do not have a lot of time to go out and find their own buyers. So wholesalers, their job is to go out and get this elusive thing called a contract. Okay, they make their money by getting a contract at a reduced price from real estate agents or from sellers directly. Now, let's just use for the sake of ease, let's say that this wholesaler got this property under contract for $200,000. Well, his job, this wholesaler, is he's got a contract now, right? And this contract, he can go and now sell that contract to a buyer, okay? So let's talk about what a buyer does. A buyer does one of three things. Either A, they also wholesale the same deal, okay? B, they also fix and flip these deals if they decide it's a good enough deal for them, or C, they hold those deals in their portfolio to some degree. That's what buyers do. Now, if I'm a buyer, let's primarily focus on like cash deals. Let's say that I am in the business of fixing and flipping properties. What is my business? I take that house, I add money, and I add time to that house, permits, management, all of those types of things. And what is my goal? My goal is to buy this deal. And let's say I buy it from this wholesaler at $225,000. Let me show you how the money works here in just a second. So for those of you guys that are taking notes going, how does the money work? How do they get paid? I will show you that in just a second. Be patient. Thank you. So this buyer says, I'll buy this for $225,000. The wholesaler is going to now make $25,000 finder's fee or a wholesale fee or an assignment fee, whatever the heck you want to call it. No, I have not described what a bird dog is yet. I want to explain to you guys who the other parties are involved so you understand where the bird dog fits in. This buyer is busy. What is this buyer doing? He's working on permits. He's working on dealing with contractors. He's working on dealing with the city. He's working on design. He's working on when the house is done, he's got to sell the property. And he's working with real estate agents, and he's working with families that want to buy the house. He's working with punch lists and repairs and tile shortages and wood things and all of those types of things. And more importantly, he's got to raise the capital and run the risk of potentially losing money if he bought the deal incorrect. How many of you guys are ready to be a fix and flipper today? Or how many of you guys are looking at that and saying, I can do that in the future, but not right now? Which one are you? In the side chat. Okay, not I, Alex Lucio says. Future. If you guys say, I want to do that in the future, but I'm not I can't do it now because I'm too afraid. Type in the word future if that is you. Okay, so we have 2 jobs already on this list, 2 people that are involved in these real estate transactions. And by the way, you never want to be a real estate agent. I'm really, really sorry, but do you want a job? Does anybody want a job? No, nobody wants a job. Now, if you are an agent, awesome, no problem. I'm just telling people if they think becoming a real estate investor is the pathway of becoming a real estate agent, we already know that is not true. I don't know any real estate agents that jumped into being a real estate agent that became a real estate investor, at least until they came to me and go, oh my gosh, I have to unlearn everything I learned. Real estate agents have a job. And if you're a real estate agent in here, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just calling it what it is. Okay. Natasha Maxwell says, I found that out the hard way. How many of my real estate agents are in here that found that out the hard way? Okay. How many of you have found that out the hard way? You're like, oh man, I thought becoming a real estate agent was going to get me into real estate investing, just to find out it is actually the opposite of that. It gets you into a good paying job for the most part if you're killing it, but you find out that you are not learning how to be an investor at all. Okay, if you are new to the game of real estate, look at all the people in the side chat that are saying me, I did, etc. Hopefully that puts a stamp of approval that I am not beating up real estate agents. This is just the way the business is. Pace, you sound like you always criticize real estate agents. No, I want you to understand the roles and the positions of everybody involved in these transactions. Okay, cool. So the buyer, guys, give me a thumbs up emoji in Zoom if you guys agree that these buyers are pretty busy freaking people. They do not have time to go into the living room of these sellers and these agents and negotiating and marketing and doing all of those types of things. We all agree that the buyer is busy, okay? Busy. They are busy, and so is the wholesaler very, very busy. They are doing what they need to do, and they're doing what they need to do. This is where the bird dog comes in. Okay, the bird dog plays the role of the person in the middle. Okay, I'll give you a good example. This is actually something I wish I had some bird dogs working on right now. I'm about to update my website for my SubTo community. So I have a buy box. If you are in the SubTo community, which most people in here are not, most people in here are just in the free Facebook group, the YouTube audience, etc. If you are in SubTo and you want to do a deal with me, go to pacesbuybox.com. I'm going to say it a second time because you weren't paying attention. Pacesbuybox.com. 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 Go there and you can see what I'm actively buying. This is helpful because people send me emails. I'm a buyer, and they say, Pace, I have a deal in Egypt where it's raising thoroughbred horses. I'm like, that's not a deal I would buy. Why did you send that to me? Oh, I just thought it was a great deal. It's not a deal for me. Don't send it to me. It doesn't make sense, right? So we want to understand what our buyers want so that we can go find it for them. One of the things I'm going to go and update on my buy box, pacesbuybox.com, is that I am in the process of structuring a 50 car wash business. I'm building 50 car washes, and I'm going to partner with some members of the community on this. Guess what I need? If I'm building car washes, 50 of them, what do I need more than anything else? It's not money. I don't need money. I have plenty of money. Land. I need land. Okay, this is amazing. I need bare land, or preferably bare land. I don't mind buying things and tearing it down, but it does cost more money. Okay, so everybody already knows that I need land. So am I a buyer looking for 50 pieces of land in 50 different markets? Is that something that you could go and find wholesalers and bring their deals to me for a fee? Give me a yes if you understand how simple this really is. I'm too busy raising money, marketing, and finding partners for these 50 car washes. I don't have time to go out and cold call, negotiate, follow up, CRMs, all of the SubTo members that are doing land deals. So even though I have about 4,000 students in SubTo that are doing land deals, I'm not communicating with them all day, every day. I actually want bird dogs that are going, I'm going to go look at all the deals. I'm going to do a little bit of upfront work, and I'm going to bring a deal to Pace. Does this make sense, my friends? And does it make sense that you can play the middle between the buyer, me, and the person who is actually getting these pieces of land under contract? Does this make sense how simple this actually is? Yes or no? Pace, my overthinking mind cannot stop coming up with questions about the what ifs, the what ifs, what ifs. We're going to cover all of that between today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Okay. But we understand this. It's very simple. Now, why would I be willing to pay somebody a fee? Okay. First and foremost, will I do a deal with a non-SubTo community member? Yes or no? No, I won't. Okay. So today, I hope I can introduce you to some other SubTo members that are buying deals from non-SubTo members. I focus all my time and energy partnering with them. Okay. So if you are in SubTo, you can do deals with me and you can bird dog and bring me land deals. Pace, well, how do we do that? Well, here's what's cool about being in SubTo. You can go into the Discord. We have about 100 different channels, and you can go into the land channel where everybody's doing land deals in SubTo, because welcome to SubTo. We do it all. RV parks, mobile home parks, RV parks that have mobile home parks, multifamily businesses. We do it all. Okay. So you literally are just going through and filtering and finding the things that I already want to look at so I can focus on what I need to focus on. Okay. Okay. Nate Ruckle says, what's the difference between Dispo and Bird Dog? Are you guys okay with me pausing for a second and answering that question for him? I imagine the answer is yes. I imagine your answer is yes, that I can pause and focus on Nate. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that we do not cover this question more than once, because it will come up over and over and over. So Nate Ruckle, Raquel, however you want. If you're fancy, you say Raquel. If you're not fancy, you say Ruckle. Nate, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm really good. So here's the answer to the question. Are you ready? Are you going to write this down so we don't have to cover this again for the next 3 days? Everybody give me a thumbs up emoji. We're going to give you guys this answer. We're going to kill this in the dirt.
Yes, I'm writing.
Dispo people blast out deals to hundreds, if not thousands of buyers that they've never met, they've never communicated with, on the guess that one of those buyers will match up with that deal. Make sense?
Yeah.
A bird dog is only looking for deals for one buyer that they have communicated with, and that buyer is educating them on every single deal, whether it's a yes or a no. I watch so many people go, oh, I'm going to go do Dispo and I'm going to get a list of 5,000 buyers. Okay, great. So you get a deal, which is not a deal until somebody buys it. You get a contract from somebody and you decide, I'm going to Dispo. Guess what you're doing? You're email blasting a bunch of people you've never communicated with. Are those people going to give you feedback and actually communicate with you and educate you on why that's not a good deal and what it should have been in order for them to buy that deal? Yes or no?
No, probably not. No, say
Okay.
no.
The answer is no. So if I'm a bird dog and I'm just barely starting out, or let's say I'm an aspiring real estate investor and I'm like, I don't know how to comp. I don't know how to find deals. I don't know why a deal is a deal and not a deal, but I don't want to be pushed out of the game and go, Pace, I got to learn how to do all these things before I take action. Absolutely not. Dispo is a little bit more of an advanced strategy, because you should already know that that house, that property, that business, that RV park, whatever it may be that you have, should already be a deal for one of those buyers. If you are just sending out trash deals, people hate that about wholesalers, and we are sick and tired of it in this industry. Okay. That is Dispo. It's the thing that gives this industry a bad name, is people just blasting out deals that they don't actually know if it's a deal or not. That's Dispo. Bird dogging is, I go to somebody like Pace and I go, hey, Pace, I know by looking at your buy box, I know you're looking for 3-bed, 2-bath properties in Maricopa County that are under $500,000. I found a couple of them. One of them SubTo for 3.75% interest. I actually found it inside the SubTo private Facebook group, because we have about 400 deals that pop up every single day. I found it. And before I put you in touch with the person that has it, please tell me if this is something close enough that we could negotiate. I go, yeah, actually, that's really close to what I'm looking for. I got a couple of questions. You send it back to that person. You come back to me and I coach you along and I give you a little bit of handholding, not a tremendous amount, but a little bit of handholding. Go, yeah, it's not a deal because it doesn't cash flow and it's in an HOA and it makes it. So you know what? That's not my buy box. That is bird dogging, where I'm getting coached by my buyer on every single deal, instead of me just blasting it out to a list and wondering, why are people not buying my deals? Make sense?
Makes sense.
So if I'm brand new and I haven't done a deal, which one should I do? Should I do bird dogging, or should I go build a big list of buyers that I've never communicated with, that are not going to coach me along, and just guess, wonder, and be nervous and have anxiety of why people are not buying my deals?
Bird dogging.
Cool. Did I hammer this home so clearly that we don't need to cover this ever again?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. By the way, I say that in a way because it comes up every day. It even came up yesterday. I answered it. Now it's coming up again, which means you either missed yesterday or I didn't do a good enough job. And I'm okay with not doing a good enough job. I'm okay of covering it, but we just want to make sure we close the door on dispo so that we do not have to keep covering that and we can keep moving forward. Okay. Bird dogs are not doing dispo. We are not blasting out deals. We are working with one buyer until you get your first deal. I want you guys to write that down. We as bird dogs are working for one buyer until we get our first deal. Then we can start going to a second, a third, and a fourth buyer and building our business. But if you are going out and doing 2 buyers, 3 buyers, 4 buyers, 5 buyers, you're going to come into me and go, I'm confused. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. This person says this person says this. And what's going to happen is you are going to be dealing with multiple personalities. And sadly, most people that have or are working at a 9-to-5 job have a really hard time with managing multiple personalities. As you scale in this business, you'll have no problem with that. But when you're brand new, you're going to have a really, really tough time. So bird dogging is working for one buyer, focusing on their one need until you get your first deal. Now, let me give you guys a couple of pieces of advice. I'm going to ask you a question. You guys tell me what you guys think. If multifamily deals, I buy 1 to 2 multifamily deals per year. If I buy 4 to 6 RV parks per year, I buy 2 to 4 mobile home parks per year, I buy 20 single family rentals per year, and I buy 20 single family houses per year, I'm going to buy probably 50 pieces of land per year. Let me ask you a question. Which one of those would you want to focus on and why? Side chat, let me know. Which one would you want to focus on? By the way, in this scenario, you've never done a deal before. There you go. You're either single family or you're land. Why? The frequency of transactions in single family or land for your buyer is way more common. I also buy 1 business a year. Buying businesses is incredibly challenging. Despite what anybody says online, buying a business is incredibly impossible. It's nearly impossible. And the reason being, can I find baby boomers that will sell me a property or a business on seller finance? Yes, but I'm taking over their employees. How many people that scares the crap out of you if I handed you the keys to an excavation company or an HVAC company or a plumbing company or an electrical company or a roofing company? Oh my gosh. Your techs know more than you. Everybody in your company knows way more than you. You are not ready. You are not ready to run a business. So I buy 1 business a year. If you're looking for proof of concept, here's the question. If you are ready, or if you're looking for proof of concept, meaning that bird dogging or real estate or being in this business as an entrepreneur is a thing for you, should you focus on the portion of my buy box that's buying 1 business a year, buying 1 apartment building per year, buying 4 to 8 RV parks, mobile home parks, buying 20 single family, buying 20 pieces of land, which one should you focus on? Isaiah, you got it. Ding, 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 ding. You want the one that has the most frequency of transactions. It's very simple, but a lot of people go, Pace, I want to help you find a business. I'm like, bro, please don't. Like you're going to waste all your time. You're going to get discouraged because I'm going to say no to so many things. Single family is a wonderful place for everybody to start in bird dogging. Let me ask you a follow-up question. Can I bird dog literally anything? Somebody needs money. Can I bring money to the table and make money off bringing money to them? That's called Gator. Okay, you can bird dog a Gator deal. Can I bird dog a SubTo deal, a wholesale deal, a single family, a multifamily, an RV park, a business, a piece of land? Can I bird dog literally anything? Yes. What should I focus on in the very beginning is the thing that matches who I am. It's the thing that matches who I am. If I want to get into multifamily, here's a question. Let's draw an avatar. Okay. Let's say that I'm a doctor and I make $400,000 a year. I work 2 days a week. I don't need more money, as in today money. I want to get into multifamily, but I would like to bird dog first before I start getting into those bigger things. What kind of deals should I bird dog for? Gave you guys a lot of information. Multifamily. Why? Well, multifamily pays you're only going to buy one deal per year. Yes, but does that person need a paycheck right now? Does the doctor making $400,000 a year need a paycheck right now? Yes or no? If he doesn't need a paycheck right now, then he shouldn't be chasing single family because he already knows he wants to be in a multifamily. Why doesn't he just go and focus on bird dogging for multifamily? The benefit to doing bird dogging is I don't have to do all of these things. Remember, look at the sides. Oops, this has gone away. That kind of sucks. Give me a second. So this is the cool thing is I don't have to do everything. Okay. I don't have to be the wholesaler. I don't have to be the fix and flipper. I don't have to be the buyer out of the gate. I don't have to learn how to cold call and use negotiations and sales tactics and negotiation and sales tactics and CRMs and follow up and all of those types of things. But I get to be the person in the middle that learns why my buyer is saying yes or no to every single deal that I'm bringing to the table. Now, this is interesting. Dominique says, has a great question. Dominique, let me pause the side chat. Let me answer your question just real fast. We'll talk about buyers today. We'll cover that today, which will be great. So just hang with me, guys. We will answer more questions. You guys are, all you newbies just can't help but ask questions well before it's time to ask questions. And that is okay. You can't stop a newbie from being a newbie. You know what I'm saying? Dominique, what up? How you doing?
Hey Pace, how are you?
I'm really good. Okay, so you've got a buyer that doesn't have a buy box. That's the stupidest thing on the planet. That doesn't make sense. Not saying you're stupid. It means that he has not articulated to you what he's buying. Dominique, if he's a real buyer, one thing is true. He buys property.
Right.
Okay, so if he buys property, then public record will show you exactly what he buys, which is his buy box. Okay, so for example, if I go on to, let's say, Deal Sauce, I know you guys have seen me do this before, but let's say I go onto Deal Sauce and I start pulling up buyers. Okay, if your buyer doesn't have pacesbuybox.com or petersbuybox.com, that doesn't mean they don't have a buy box. It just means that they might have told you, Dominique, I'm not going to put together a buy box. I'm not going to do that. You might just have a lazy buyer, which is perfectly fine too. But lazy people buy properties. So let's go to Deal Sauce. And Dominique, I'm going to show you how simple this is to just pull up somebody's buy box and kind of reverse engineer and how to get into one of those conversations. Sorry, got to log in. I wasn't planning on this. So if I go in here and I go to property search, I'm going to go to fix and flippers. Okay. Fix and flippers are buying more frequently, which is great. Dominique, where do you live?
I live in California.
Okay. California's pretty big. Help me out here.
Bakersfield, California.
Okay, Bakersfield, Oil Town, love it. So Bakersfield, we have a lot of students in Bakersfield, which is awesome. So let's go to Bakersfield, California, and let's see who is fixing and flipping in Bakersfield, California. I can tell you it's not Open Door or big companies. This is a smaller market. You guys, I can zoom out and you can see this smaller town. I bet you we've got, I was going to say like 300 to 500. We got 1,100 people. So check it out. Breckenridge Property Fund has 66 flips in the last year.
Okay.
Aya Estates, LPECB, Luchick, Vista Gap, Placemark LLC. So let's go down a couple of pages. Okay, let's go to like, I'm going to go down to like the people who do like 6 flips a year. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. Clarin, I don't know, that must be the name of the company. Vice Property Holdings, High Tech Real Estate, 4 properties. Their average gross profit is $88,000. Alin Dahayo Enterprises, Yangjan Fan. Okay, these are people that are fixing and flipping 4 properties per year. So what I like about the 4 to 6 or 8 range is they're kind of a smaller fish. And that means that their crews are not massive. They're not highly sophisticated, meaning they don't know how to find their own deals yet. They are buying all their deals from wholesalers. If you have somebody that's doing 60 to 70 flips a year, chances are they probably are like, man, these freaking wholesalers are unreliable. These bird dogs are unreliable. They're not bringing me enough deals that I can scale. And so at that point, they probably have their own internal deal flow. They have their own cold callers. They're negotiating their own deals. That's how you get past 50 to 70 flips a year. Make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does.
So I want to go after the fix and flippers right there on Deal Sauce that are probably between 4 to 8 deals every single year when I first start out. Okay. And those people, I can literally click on their house or click on their name in Deal Sauce, and I can see the last 4 houses that they flipped.
Okay.
And I can see what finishes they chose, what price they paid. I can literally see everything. So if my buyer goes, yeah, I'd love, Dominique, for you to send me deals, wouldn't it just make sense that you just go pull up the houses that they've already done and you can kind of craft their buy box for them?
Yeah, that does make sense.
In fact, I know it's a little bit annoying because I train my SubTo members to be a lot more sophisticated on their buy box to make their life easier to get bird dogs to send them deals. Totally get that, but it's not normal for the outside world, right? Again, to point it out, they're busy. Your buyer, correct me if I'm wrong, your buyer's probably a very busy person that's like, no, I don't have a buy box. Just send me stuff and I'll look at it. Is that what you've been dealing with?
Yeah, he's actually very good at communicating. Like we called each other like on, we have good communication.
I get that. I'm not saying he's not communicating. What I'm saying is that a lot of busy people are not sitting down in front of a computer and crafting out their buy box and writing it out loud. They're out in the field, pulling permits, dealing with tile, contractors, raising money. They're going to be on their phone while they're driving around doing whatever they're doing. In fact, I probably would imagine you've communicated with him while he's out in the field. Is that correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay, here we go. Dominique, my friend, she came in here and she helped put a stamp of approval on the fact that these buyers are super busy and they would love for you to bring them deals. However, not all of them are crafted in a way that they don't even know their buy box. They're like, if it makes money, that's my buy box.
Yeah.
Okay. You could go above and beyond and say, well, okay, so this is weird, right? Let's say, Dominique, you have a significant other in your life?
No.
Okay, but you have in the past, I'm sure.
Yes.
You sound like a badass. So people probably have a hard time keeping themselves away from you because you're so cool. So
I'm a woman, so yeah, I am cool.
hell yeah, you are. Okay, cool. So and you're an action taker, which I appreciate. Your buyer, here's the thing. Your buyer's like, I don't have a buy box. That's incorrect. That's like a significant other telling you, I don't really want anything for my birthday. You're like, okay, but you always wear Converse shoes. Your Converse are beat up. I see that your hoodies are kind of getting nasty. You wear cologne. Your cologne is almost out. Like you can do that extra homework and go, you obviously like Converse All-Stars. You obviously like, this type of cologne. Let me refill you, or let me go ask the person at the perfume spot, like, hey, my significant other has this cologne. Is there something better or more popular right now that I can bring them? Like you are bird dogging deals in that regard. And if somebody says, I don't want anything for my birthday, you get extra points for going above and beyond. So with your bird dog, you go, all right, let me look at your houses. Okay. If you go to Bakersfield County Recorder's Office, okay, so this is what I would do. This is government stuff. Take notes, my friends. I'm going fast today because I have guests. I want to get through this as fast as possible. Plus somebody was mad yesterday that all I did was talk about mindset. So we're talking about some deep stuff. Go to your county recorder's office. It's free. And you can plunk in your buyer's LLC or their name, and you can find all the houses that they bought, and you can pull them up on Zillow and see the before and the after if you don't want to buy Deal Sauce. Deal Sauce makes your life easier, but not everybody wants to pay $97 a month for a software that makes your life easy. When you're brand new, you want to eat ramen and basically walk to every single appointment and ride a bike, right? Basically, that's what people want to do. So if I were you, I would go to your buyer, plunk in their name in Bakersfield County Recorder's Office, find the last 12 deals, 5 deals, 1 deal that they did, look at the photos and go, okay, I see what you're doing. You're buying houses in downtown, or heck, you're buying houses in rural areas. Your price point was around here. You bought it for 300, you exited around 5. So that would help you craft the buy box saying, okay, my buyer is buying single family, 1-story houses. They're buying about 40 cents on the dollar, and they're turning around, flipping these houses and putting these kind of renovations in. Okay, cool. I have an idea of what I'm now looking for when I communicate with wholesalers, because here's what's going to happen. When you go and communicate with wholesalers, Dominique, and you go, hey, my name is Dominique. I'm new to real estate. That's the script. My name is Dominique. I'm new to real estate, and I'm looking to be on your buyer's list. Your wholesaler is going to say, yeah, no problem. What are you looking for? And you'll go, I actually don't know. My buyer told me he doesn't have a buy box. Is that what we want to be telling wholesalers? Yes or no?
No.
No. We want to tell the buyer, right, we want to tell the wholesaler, hey, I'm actually looking for 3-bed, 2-bath downtown area that I can buy somewhere around 300 and exit for about 5. If you run into those things, please send them to me, right? You did the homework. You made it easy. You then go to your buyer and go, hey, I found something similar to what you are doing. That is what a good bird dog is going to do.
Okay.
Did I over answer this question?
You did, but I love it. It's what I needed to hear, because I knew I was looking at certain things with the coroner's office, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that just to make it more easier for me and
Boom.
everybody.
There you go. Everybody has a buy box. Now, my SubTo community obviously gets trained on how to craft their buy box, so it makes it easier for their bird dogs that are bringing them deals. If you go to my buy box, right, pacesbuybox.com, that's kind of just a basic buy box, right? We put that together in 45 minutes. It's not that hard. It makes it easy for people that are doing deals with me inside the SubTo community to know exactly what I'm looking for, not looking for, and for them not to waste their time when they run into a Kentucky horse farm that I'm obviously not going to buy. I don't care if it's the greatest deal on the planet. I'm not buying that deal. I have a buy box. This is my core business right now. This is what I'm attacking. This is my goal. We call it our Mount Everest in the community. Okay. So great question. I appreciate that tremendously. Let's see. Was that helpful for everybody to go through that last part that Dominique asked that question? Was that helpful for you? Cool. Now, I will be bringing in a couple of my SubTo community members that are buying deals, and I'll communicate with you. Here's the challenge. Can I bring all 15,000 of my community members to this free Zoom on free Facebook group? Will they all come in here and hang out? Yes or no? No, it's not going to happen. Could I bring 500? No, I can't. I can't introduce you to 500 of them. I can't introduce you to even 20 or 30. I don't have the time for that. So there's a portion of this work you're going to have to do. However, I will introduce you to Daniel today, who will be talking about his buy box. And what's going to happen is we have 800 people right here on Zoom and probably a couple hundred people over on YouTube. We have 1,000 people here. 1,000 people are going to be introduced to Daniel Hasibi. What do you think is going to happen? He is going to get overwhelmed because every newbie wants to be spoon-fed a buyer. Okay. Okay. So Chris Shabunga. Okay. Yeah. He's going to get flooded out. Okay. Welcome to only having time to introduce one buyer. I'm doing it today as a favor to you guys, but still people are going to be frustrated. Like, why did you guys bring him on here? I can't do a deal with him because he's so busy. Right. Of course, I'm going to give you guys his contact information, but at the same time, you're going to get frustrated because you want me to spoon feed my buyers to you. That is not going to happen. Okay. And here's what's going to happen. I gave you guys a buyer's list last month and all I did was get criticized. I had a guy yesterday, William, he goes, well, I got a buyer out of it, but it took me 80 calls. Okay. But did you get a buyer? Yes. He had 80 calls. Welcome to 2025. Do people actually answer the call of people they don't know? No. He had 80 calls, 3 conversations, got a quality buyer out of it. Sounds like a tremendous amount of success to me. He's like, yeah, I guess when you put it that way, I did have success, Mike. What other way should it be done? Chris, what's up?
Hey, peace, bro. Thank you so much for taking me. Hey, my question is very quick, because of course I'm not a newbie fully, but I would like to do this. I was in the solar business. I'm transitioning, and I call, I do all the stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to do it full time, meaning laser focus, what would be the with one buyer? So what are the activity basically? Just going to every single wholesaler for that specific buyer, or just wanted to make clear there.
Okay, great. So the question that Chris just asked, he asked in the side chat, he goes, if you want to do this full time and working with one buyer, what does that look like? Okay, great. This is a great question. So I started it off a little bit ago, but you had a hard time maybe paying attention to this part because maybe I moved really, really fast. So Chris, did you hear the part where I said, hey, we start with one buyer in the beginning until you get your first deal?
Yes, I did.
And then I said, once you get your first deal, you can start opening it up to other buyers so you don't get overwhelmed. Is that correct?
Yes, I heard that too. Yes.
Okay. Interesting that you have the question because it makes me feel like I didn't answer the question, but I already did.
No, I guess, yeah, maybe I might be slow to understand that, but my deal was, I heard you say on another chat, another deal that you show your son how to do that for 45 minutes a day. My question is, if I have 8 hours that I want to commit to it,
Yep.
so how does it look like? It will be for that specific buyer, just calling a lot of wholesale, I will guess, to find him that first
Yes.
deal.
In the very beginning, you are going to be building a Rolodex of what I would call suppliers, right? So you've
Okay,
got a
suppliers,
buyer,
yes.
you have one buyer, and your job is to now go find suppliers, which are wholesalers, right? What's beautiful about the SubTo community is that we have buyers, suppliers, lenders, transaction coordinators, all in one massive pool of roughly 31,000 people. 15, 16,000 are SubTo members, about 15, 16,000 are Gators that are bringing all the money to the transactions. And so I don't really have to step outside of the community to do deals with each other, which is amazing. If you're not in SubTo, you're going to have to go in Google and do the work and find those suppliers, which I will show you guys tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Today, it's just talking about buyers and what to do with the buy box. Now, here's the great question. So you're asking a wonderful question, which is like, well, I want to do this full time. So what does that look like? Well, let's talk about that. Everybody that has the same question, please take notes. Do we have a question of what a bird dog is? Or do we understand at least that part? I didn't say what he does, but what it is. Do we all have an answer? Give me a thumbs up emoji. Do we all understand what? Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Chris. We understand what a bird dog does. Give me a yes in the side chat. You guys understand what that is. Okay. It's really simple. It's honestly so effing simple that you guys will overthink this so effing much. You cannot stop. Okay. So Hilton says, can this be done virtually? Nope. You know what? You need to literally live in your buyer's house. Okay. So Hilton says, I'm in, this is such a common question too. It's really interesting. It's almost like I should just do the common questions at the very beginning, but then people don't pay attention either. Hilton, how you doing? Hilton, all the way from South Africa.
From South Africa, that's correct.
Okay, Hilton, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you cannot do this virtually. You have to move into your buyer's house and sleep on their couch before you do a deal.
Ah, okay.
I'm joking. Are you kidding me, Hilton?
Yeah, I was just about to ask because I see a lot of stuff here can be done online. So I was just about to ask,
Yes, it is
how
all
do
you
you
can.
mean?
Here's the one tool you need. Okay, Hilton, you tell me if South Africa has this. You need a cell phone that has internet. Does South Africa? You guys have cell phones now, right?
We do have cell phones. We do.
You guys have
internet
internet
here.
too?
Yes, we do have internet too.
No way.
We do have.
Well, then you have all the ingredients to do this entire business. You can be anywhere. I have people in Israel. We have people in Kenya. I had two people do a couple of deals last week in Kenya, from Kenya. They were doing the deals in the United States. Now, here's the better question. Can I do it in South Africa? In South Africa? And the answer is no. Do you want to know why? Because I wouldn't even know how to do that because you guys have different real estate laws. United States is the greatest freaking country as far as real estate goes. This business is so easy. We can pull up a couple of pieces of software and see everything that's going on in the real estate industry in like 2 minutes. You guys don't have that. Really, any other country does not have this. Real estate in the United States makes your life so easy. So if your question is, Pace, I'm in South Africa. I'd like to do this with people in America. Can I do this from my phone and my internet? I would say yes. The first girl that I ever did a deal with lived 5 miles down the road with me. Okay, the first bird dog that ever brought me a deal was like 12 years ago. And she lived right down the road from me, 5 miles, only texted me addresses until I bought one. And then I met her like 4 years later in person. I finally met her in person. Oh my gosh, good to see you. She lived 5 miles away from me, but I never met with her. She never went to the houses. She literally just did it from her home. So what does it matter if she's down the road from me or if she's in South Africa or if she's in Kenya? Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't give much of a difference.
It's not even any difference at all. The only challenge you're going to deal with, my friend, is you're going to deal with time zone issues, right? Because right now, what time is it where you're at?
Here in South Africa, it's 2 in the morning. It's almost 3 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, perfect. So you guys are about 7. You guys are 9 hours ahead of us. So
9 hours ahead.
Perfect.
9 hours ahead, yes.
So your biggest challenge is you're going to wake up early in the morning and you're going to go do deals with people in probably the East Coast. Okay. So like you're going to choose what city to work with and find your buyers in the city that makes it easier for you for your time zone. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I don't have a problem with that.
Cool. So here's what would happen. If you start working at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, South Africa time, you are now reaching out to buyers and suppliers at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. That would be Florida, New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, all of the places on the East Coast, anything that Eastern Standard Time, you're going to start working bird dogging at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and you're going to get a hold of people at 9 a.m., which gives you the ability to work from 3 to, let's say, 10 o'clock at night, 7 straight hours if you really wanted to work on this. Guys, please understand that bird dogging takes 45 minutes a day, maybe. Most of my bird dogs spend 15 minutes a day on it. That's all they do. That's it. If you are planning on doing this 8 hours a day, you're going to smother the fire. You're doing too much work. It does not require that much work. It is truly, truly that simple. So my friend Hilton, thank you for tuning in all the way from across the world. Can I do this from anywhere as long as I manage my time zone constraints?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. There you go. Guys, we have answered that. We don't need to revisit that again. Thank you so much. Have we answered the question about time zones? And have we answered the question of, can I do this in Zimbabwe? Have we answered the question of, can I do this in Mexico? Have I answered the question of, can I do this in North Carolina or Canada or Israel? Have we hammered that question home? I would say we have. So let's not bring that up again. Not that I have a problem with it, but we do cover it quite a bit, and it wastes a lot of our time having to have me explain that in 10-minute increment. Of course, I could be an idiot and just go, yes, you can do it. But that doesn't really give you confidence in my answer, right? Okay, cool. So let's go back to this. Okay, let's go back to this. We're going to bring up Daniel here in about 20 minutes. Okay, we'll bring up Daniel in about 20 minutes. All right, so first thing you should understand is if you are, oops, this is really big. Let me fix this. This is like humongous. Okay, so if you are a bird dog, step number 1 to being a bird dog, let's follow the steps. Okay, step number one is start with a buyer. Okay, step number 2, stay with stay with one buyer until you get a deal. Okay. Step number 3, by the way, I will give you the steps here in just a second, but step number 3 is if your buyer isn't communicating, move to another buyer. And very important piece of advice right here. Don't complain. I know this is silly, but I see this all the time with newbies that have 9-to-5 jobs. I'm very sorry to beat up people with 9-to-5 jobs, but you have a mentality that everything's handed to you. Pace, I work hard for my paycheck. Well, yeah, you kind of do, but the reality is you show up at a desk, you kind of do a job. Most people that I know have 9-to-5 jobs, I'm going to be bluntly honest with you, probably do 7 hours of real work for a 40-hour paycheck. Okay. Jackie, this is interesting. Jackie, my friend, I think this is, I think I should just put the side chat on pause or maybe address this to somebody, because I think what happens is Jackie might have just showed up a little bit late. Jackie, how you doing? Jackie Lauren, how you doing, Jackie?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Okay, Jackie, did you hear the part where I said I'm going to show you guys how to find buyers tomorrow?
Yeah, sorry. I thought that was a different step between finding wholesalers. So in my mind, wholesaler was different than buyer.
I'm going to introduce you to a buyer today. We'll talk more about buyers today. Then I'll show you where to find those buyers today. Now, what is the number one thing you want? Suppliers or buyers?
Buyers? I guess buyers.
That's it. You don't have a buyer yet, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So let's not worry about suppliers or wholesalers quite yet. Hang with me for a minute. I'll give you all the steps. I promise you we'll go through all of these things. Am I talking fast enough and being succinct and getting to all the concise matter, or am I going off on tangents and not actually talking about what you need?
I'd say you're talking about what we need.
Cool. So stick with me. Please be patient. Great question. You're asking, where do I find wholesalers when you don't even have a buyer? This is a
Got it.
typical newbie mistake. Okay. Typical newbie mistake is you're starting to ask a question about letter D. You haven't even gotten through letter A. So let's keep hanging out with each other. You can hang out with me on the stage as long as you possibly can. So if you have a question, please just say it out loud. I can hear you. So
Okay,
here we
thanks.
go. So start with a buyer. Stay with one buyer until you get a deal. Why have I changed these rules? Pace, you've already changed the rules from last month. Yeah, this one I added. You want to know why? Because I got people in my Instagram DMs going, my buyer's not communicating. Well, yeah, because your buyer's busy making money and you're not being persistent. And you think you're bothering them. And so you stop texting them and go, oh my gosh, they haven't texted me back. Okay. I wish I could kind of break down this text message I just did. So I have a new friend, Jackie. I have a new friend. His name is Vic. He's a billionaire. He sold a couple of companies to Berkshire Hathaway. So, Warren Buffett in 2018 for $11 billion. I go to dinner with him about 3-4 weeks ago in Whitefish, Montana. We're chatting. We come up with this incredible business idea. I go, oh my gosh, how do I get myself inserted in this thing? How do I wedge myself into this? We go and we're talking and chatting. I live in Montana, but I was coming home from Montana to Phoenix, which is where my kids go to school. And I get home to Arizona and I'm following up with him. Not one time did I think, am I bothering this guy? Because busy people appreciate being bothered, right? It's like, oh man, I forgot. Oh man, I had this thing. Oh man, this thing popped up. Thank you for staying persistent. Here's something I want to teach all of you newbies. If you give up after 3 times of texting somebody or 1 time, you have now marketed yourself to that person that you are easy to give up and you are forgettable. If you are persistent and consistent, do you think that's a good sign to a billionaire that I'm trying to get his attention, that I continually follow up? I have now branded myself as somebody who is worthy of communicating with this person, worthy of collaborating with this person, because I have followed up like a persistent animal. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. Do I think the billionaire is going to call me in 2 weeks? No, he's going to have 50 other people that want his attention. So I need to be the hungry bird. What ends up happening, my friend Jackie, is that so many people end up going, my buyer didn't communicate to me. And I'm like, okay, it's Saturday afternoon and tomorrow's Christmas. Why do you think they should be following up with you? Or they forget the fact that they are actually communicating with a buyer of a property that is out there in the field, very similar to the previous gal, Dominique. Her buyer was out in the field, managing contractors, picking tile, doing all of those things. We should expect our buyers to be somewhat lagging in their communication. What I find is the reason why I had to add this rule is because newbies complain that their buyer didn't communicate. So either A, move to another buyer, or B, just don't complain and be persistent, okay? Now, my team, pretty simple. If you are in SubTo and you email my team, f&f@pacemorby.com, what does that stand for? That stands for fix and flip at pacemorby.com, fnf@pacemorby.com. By the way, if you are not in SubTo, my team will delete your email. So please do not email me. Do not send me deals if you are not in SubTo. Here's what ends up happening. And not every buyer is like this, okay? Not every buyer is set up to do this. I have a team. So here's the email, okay? Here's you. Okay, guys, you send an email to fnf@pacemorby.com. On the other side of that email, I have a virtual assistant. I have somebody literally in the Philippines that is looking at the emails. And if it's outside of my buy box, they have been instructed to delete. I will not even reply to you anymore. Okay. Why? Because I have a buy box and I have told people multiple times, hey, guys, please do not send me horse ranches in Kentucky. I don't buy horse ranches. I make this joke, but it's very true. Does this make sense of why somebody might not even look at your deals because you sent them something not inside their buy box? Give me a yes or a no. I don't want to buy a Kentucky horse ranch. Okay. And so we will delete your email. I will 100% delete your email because you already should know. If you got my email, fnf@pacemorby.com, you got that email from pacesbuybox.com. So you already saw the thing. Okay. So look, Sherry, good to see you. She's awesome. Sherry Fitzgerald says, I buy horse ranches in Kentucky. She probably would. I know her. She's amazing. Okay. So I'm going to delete your email. I'm not, but my team is going to delete your email. We have virtual assistants that are in there looking through. And their first step is is this in our buy box? Meaning, is it in the city? Is it the type of house? And if it's not, immediately archive. Now my team is going to do what? The next thing that they're going to do is they are now going to go in here and they're going to say, all right, let's now filter down and let's comp those properties and either say, yes, it's a deal, or no, it's not a deal, but here's what we would buy it at. And they will reply back to you and say, not a deal, but. Not a deal, but I would buy it at this, okay, which is actually I think all the bird dog deals have required a but, which I will go over here in just a minute, okay? All right, so those are the first 3 rules. Let's get a little bit deeper, okay? Let's get a little bit deeper here. I guess I could just erase this a lot easier. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Why do I? Oh, here we go. Boom. Okay. Simple. Okay, so step number 1, start with a buyer. Step number 2, stay with one buyer. Do not confuse yourself and put yourself in a situation where you have more than one buyer. Why do I say this? Is because new people that have never done a deal before, they constantly come to me and they go, hey, Pace, my buyer, I'm so confused. I'm overwhelmed. If you want to use the word overwhelmed, which is a poor person word, I'm overwhelmed. No, you're not. You did not follow instructions. Stay with one buyer. That buyer will show you why, tell you what, the price they would pay it for, and you will slowly learn over time how to comp, how to underwrite properties, etc. Okay, so once you have these basic things nailed down, we can now move on to a couple of these other steps, okay? So we are going to say, start with a buyer. Stay with one buyer until you get a deal. Buyer isn't communicating, move to another buyer. Cool. Step number 4, get an agreement with that buyer. If you're a lunatic, get paperwork. Okay, if you're one of those people like, I want to protect myself, go get paperwork. Cool. Okay, get paperwork. I will not sign any JV agreements. Pace will not sign a JV agreement. Okay, what is it, a JV agreement? It means joint venture. I will not sign one. Why? Because if you are the type of person that needs me to sign a JV agreement with you, you are probably not the type of person I want to hang out with. You either trust me or you don't trust me. I don't want to hang out with you. And if you've ever heard of anybody saying Pace took advantage of me, show me the article, show me the lit thing, show me anytime somebody has actually shown me one thing that I've ever done wrong to anybody. My word is my bond. I have a big enough brand that I think people would show you. Now, there's people that are like, I don't like Pace because he sucks. Okay, cool. Did I do anything to you? Did I ever take advantage of you? Well, no, but he just sucks. Okay, cool. I don't need a JV agreement with you. It slows me down. If you won't even send me an address because you need a JV agreement, then go to a different buyer. That's me. Okay. But some of you guys are like, okay, I definitely don't want to do deals with Pace because I want paperwork. That's important to me. Do you guys want the JV agreement? I will get it to you as a gift. If you guys want the JV agreement on how to do bird dogs, give me a thumbs up on the emojis and we will get you guys a JV agreement. It costs us about $3,000 to do that. If you guys want that, we'll bring it to you guys tomorrow morning, right when right at the beginning tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to get an agreement. Now, where do I find my buyers? Please pay attention. A couple of places I can find my buyers. Really easy one is just Deal Sauce. Okay, dealsauce.io. I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. I've already shown it to you guys, but I'll show it to you guys once again. It truly is this simple. Check it out. I go to dealsauce.io. You get a 2-week subscription, not subscription, but you get like a 2-week, what do you call it? What would you call it? It would be a trial, free trial. I've never in my life cared about free trials, but that's just a mindset. Some people think that free trials are like the bee's knees, and that's cool. I go in here, I go to property search, and I click on fix and flippers. Here, let me refresh this so we can start from the very beginning. I'm going to go here from the very, very beginning, dealsauce.io. No, I do not get paid any sort of affiliate code. It's just what our community uses a lot. So I'm going to go down to, my bad. Let's go to Deal Sauce. Let's go to property search. And I'm going to go down to finding fix and flippers. Of course, I can find all sorts of cool things in here, but let's just do fix and flippers, people that are actively finding fix and flips. I have that filter turned on. So let's choose, let's see, Houston, Texas. Okay. If somebody's in here, they want Houston, Texas. Okay. Houston, boom. Look at that. What a weird city map. Pearland, it's funny that they don't include that in there, but let's see. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a couple thousand buyers for sure, maybe even more. Might even be like 5,000 buyers. Okay, 8,860 buyers. Okay, now I can filter this even more, right? I can come in here and filter like how many deals and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that, but you can see how fast I can find deals. I'm sorry, not deals. I can find buyers. Houston, Texas. Okay, 8,000 buyers within a matter of 30 seconds. I have all of them. Now, I'm going to filter down to the people. Typically, what I will do is I will filter down to out of those 8,000, I'll find the people that are doing 4, 6, 10, 12 deals every single year. I'm not looking for the person that's doing 700 properties a year, because typically they have their own way of finding their own deals when they're over like 50 to 70. Okay. So again, this takes, I'm counting my clicks right now. Okay. Counting 2 clicks. I'm going to go to Houston, Texas. I got to type in a city. I got 3 clicks. That's what it took. It took 3 clicks to pull a list of 8,000 buyers. I can go in here and I can do research on these buyers. Look at this. Open Door did 768 houses in the last year. They made $147 million in profit. Pretty freaking awesome. Now I've got Zillow did 156, Gold Coast Equity, we're down to 88. And I can just keep going down here and going, all right, let's go down to like the 20s, the 15s, okay? Jumps down pretty quickly, right? So let's go down one more page. And we should be somewhere around, okay, 28, Isla Homes. 524 Heights Boulevard. They did 27 flips last year. I think this is about the size of buyers I want to work with. Anywhere around here and lower. I don't want to do business with people that are doing 1 or 2 flips a year, but these are obvious people that are doing significant business or buying one every couple of weeks. Have I, as of right now, have I showed all of you guys how I can find buyers for my deals in less than 30 seconds? Have I shown that to you? Yes or no? Okay, cool. Now let me give you a couple of different ways you can find buyers. But what is great about that buyers list that I just showed you is these are verified buyers. Deal Sauce is pulling public record from houses that have actually been purchased and sold by those LLCs. Would I want to go into a free Facebook group and find buyers that are like, I'm a buyer? Or do I want to just go to public record and find the ones that are obviously buyers because there's public record? Which one would you rather have? Okay, so hopefully we've broken your guys' mind. Welcome to 2025, guys. It's that easy to find this business. Cool. Yes, you can find wholesalers all over the place, but we're not going to talk about where to find suppliers until tomorrow. Are we all in agreement? We're not talking about how to find suppliers until tomorrow. Give me an agreement. You guys are all on the same page. We are not wasting our time talking about suppliers or wholesalers today. We are talking about buyers. Okay, let me give you a couple of different ways you can find buyers for the people that are like, I don't want to pay for anything. I don't know if this is real. I don't want to pay for Deal Sauce. Cool. For those people, let me give you a couple of things, okay? We have absolutely, okay? I absolutely 100%, okay, want to cover how to find suppliers, but we'll cover that tomorrow, but we want to focus on buyers. Let's give you a couple of more ways you can find buyers, and then I'm going to bring up one of my friends, one of the strongest men I know, and the most handsome. If you guys are looking for a Canadian bodybuilder to look up to, he's the man. Okay, we'll bring him up here in just a minute. By the way, he will put a stamp of approval on the fact that you can do this from anywhere because he's Canadian doing this in America, which is awesome. Okay, cool. So I can go to Deal Sauce. I can also go to Pace's free Facebook group. Okay, what's this called? It's called Creative Finance with Pace Morby. You guys can look it up. Creative Finance with Pace Morby. Somebody can, or Carly can put a link in the side chat for everybody. Cool. Now, Deal Sauce, Creative Finance with Pace Morby Facebook group. If you are in the SubTo community, this is also a cheat code. This is like, honestly, the biggest cheat code is just anyone in our community is a filtered, vetted person. And so you will find a list of buyers in there of people that are already raising their hand. I'll give you a good example. Inside, how is it so easy for Daniel, who's going to come up here? Why is it so easy for people to bring Daniel deals? Well, because Daniel is in our community. He's in a higher level group of ours called Owners Club, and he's on a list of buyers that are actively buying deals. And so all people have to do inside of our community is go, oh, this is who I want to work with. They get their contact information. That person is saying, I want you to bird dog with me. I'm open to bird dogs. Here, let me pull up that list. I won't give that list to the non-community members, but let me pull up that list. Carly, can you do you have that list? Can you text it to me? I can pull it up. I got it. Just got to go to SubToCourse.com. For those of you guys in SubTo and you want this list, we go to SubToCourse.com. I'm going to log in here real fast and I'll show you guys, if you guys are in SubTo, where you can find this list. And this is a list that Daniel is on among a couple of other high-level people that are actively doing all sorts of different types of bird dog deals, right? You can bird dog businesses to them. You can bird dog all sorts of stuff. So let's go pull this list or show you guys this list. So if you guys are in SubTo, which very few people in here should be in SubTo, this is a free Zoom. So check it out. If you guys go into the PACE method, you see this list right here. You can find Owners Club buy boxes right here. I can click on this list right here, and I can show you guys over 500 people's buy boxes. Now, I'm going to kind of zoom through and make it so you guys don't see people's names. I do not want people reaching out to these people right out of the gate. Pace your gatekeeping. No, I just don't want to bother my high-level members with people that are not vetted inside the community. I just don't want to bother them and like blow them up. That's it. Okay, so check it out. I will pull this up. Give me just a second. Okay. I will not share the link. Okay, so check it out. If you guys look here, you will see people checking the box on bird dogging, wedge method, pacing. These are different strategies that we do inside of our community. See all the people with the check box right here in this column, in column E? These are all the people that are doing bird dogging that have checked off and said, hey, this is what I'm buying. This is what I want. Reach out to me. I actually like working with bird dogs. That is a cheat code because you don't have to guess whether those people are okay with you bird dogging and bringing a deal to the table, letting you make $1,000 or $3,000 or $5,000 or $15,000 or hell, $90,000 as much as I've paid bird dogs this year. I paid one bird dog 90 G's on one deal. What's cool is if you are in the SubTo community, make sure you go into that, go to SubToCourse.com, log in, go to the PACE method and go into the Owners Club buy box. It will be multifamily, buying businesses, RV parks, mobile home parks, and it's all over the country and also in 29 other countries. We have Owners Club members everywhere. So that is a helpful cheat code for those of you guys that are looking for buyers and you just want that cheat code if you are in SubTo. Probably about 10% of people in here are in SubTo. Okay, so go to that cheat code. I built that. We have an amazing portion of our community called Owners Club that will help you out. Okay, another place to find buyers, public record. Okay, another place is public record. You can just go on county recorder's office. You can see who's buying and selling properties. This is also free, but it is a PITA, pain in the arse. Okay, you can also go to meetups. Okay, I am doing a 100-day road trip coming up. I'll talk about this more in a couple of days, but I'm doing a 100-day road trip where I will be on the road for 100 days meeting all of you guys, even if you're not in SubTo, Gator, or Top Tier TC. I don't care who you are. Come out, meet our community. We're going to be doing unbelievable massive cool things. Here's what we're going to be doing. This homeless lady that we helped just get off the streets, I challenged my team and I said, I think we could do this in 100 days. I think we could do this for 50 people, one per state in the next 100 days. So drive time on one day we're helping somebody get off the street using these methods. And we're going to be doing that live at the meetup. So if you guys are in Minneapolis, we're coming to your town. If you guys are in New Jersey, we're coming to your town. We will show you exactly how to do this in person. You guys can meet people at our meetups, people that are in our community. So there's some of the places you can find buyers. Now, there's other websites that some people are using. Some people will use PropStream. PropStream's a little bit more expensive than DealSauce, but PropStream is another place you can find buyers. There's another one that I will give you guys that is also free. It's called Zillow. That's a pain in the butt because you have to go through and scroll and find houses that have obviously been flipped and reach out to those people. It's just more challenging. Okay. If you are not in the SubTo community, here are the two places you probably should go: is the Facebook group and dealsauce.io. Heck, use your 2 week free trial and go find buyers there. Now, if you guys really want, I will give you a list of buyers on the final day. So that would be Thursday, as long as we can agree that if I give you a list of buyers, you are not going to be like William was yesterday and say, man, I had to reach out to 80 people and I finally got somebody. Would you guys like me to bring you a list of buyers? And we will not complain if you have to make more than two and a half calls. Okay. I will give you guys that list on Thursday. Okay. No complaints. So I don't want to hang out with those kind of people. Okay. I don't think anybody does, to be honest. Okay. We will do that on Thursday. Okay. But William's like, you're killing me, Pace. William, I freaking appreciate you for being a good sport. Okay. So there's where we find our buyers, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys all the steps on how to find suppliers tomorrow. But before we get to tomorrow, we're going to bring up a buyer right now so you guys can see that buyers don't have unicorn horns and I'm not the only buyer on the planet. And every time I hang out with this guy, he inspires me to lift more weights. Carly, can you bring Daniel, my handsome friend, up here? My Canadian bestie.
What's going on, Pace?
What up, brother? How you doing?
Good, bro. How you doing?
Good. Let me spotlight you real fast. Did you get a workout in today?
I did every day.
What did you work out today? People need to know.
Today was legs.
Nobody works out legs, bro. It's not a real thing.
No, you gotta train legs if you're gonna grow. And we got a leg session together coming up.
You know, I hear that if I train my legs, my upper body weight tolerance would go up significantly, and so I really need to work on my legs for sure.
100%. We're gonna get a leg workout in Arizona.
I love it. So Daniel, I know you're gonna hang out with me in October, but where do you currently live right now?
Toronto, Canada.
Oh, okay. So when you hear people that say, "Hey, can I do this from X country?" you probably chuckle a little bit because you're sitting there in Toronto, Canada, doing your deals in America, correct?
Yeah, I only touch American deals now. I know
Okay.
Canadian.
Why is that? I think I'm going to take a couple of guesses. Tell me if there's any reason why. One, I think we have access to better data. So you can like see everything that's going on with every house. And I don't feel like Canada has really ever done that. I don't think anybody's hacked that code for Canada. You guys hide your data. You're like a non-disclosure country. That's number one. Number two, you guys, when you guys go buy rentals, like SubTo deals, I know that you're in the creative community and you're a badass. I know that as you go out and you buy RV parks or mobile home parks or whatever it is that you're going to do over the next several years, if you do that in Canada, you have to renew your mortgage every 5 to 7 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I actually have my mortgage license, so I structure all of my own deals, and it's still a pain doing it.
That's such an interesting thing why would the country do that?
We have 10-year terms, but nobody ever exercises them.
Interesting.
So it's always like 3 to 5 years. A lot of my clients right now are just leaning towards a 3-year term, 5 very seldom now, 10 nobody ever looks at.
A lot. Hey, how many people right now in the side chat, number one, are happy to see Daniel? Say thanks, Daniel, for being here. Give him some love in the side chat, please. Daniel, are you single? I see people asking in the side chat. Are you single?
I'm now seeing somebody. Yeah, I've been single for a long time. But
are you now seeing one of your bird dogs?
No. Won't cross that line. Can you imagine though? That'd be interesting.
It'd be the best deal you ever struck. I love it. So Daniel, how many people have just learned that Canada has weird lending laws that you have to renew every 3 to 5 years? How many people just learned that today? Say
I don't
me.
know. Me.
Okay, it's interesting. So Canada's interesting that way. So you like to do deals in America. I also would imagine that because you're in the community, you also see a lot of more deal flow in America versus Canada. That's why you focus on America, correct?
Yeah, and the numbers make sense in the US. The numbers just don't make sense in Canada anymore. And it's very hard to, like, for instance, even a refinance, you got to go through so many different loops and just to make things work. The banks want all your information, they want to look at every single document. Things are much easier in the US. And to your point, it's the best country in the world, especially when it comes to real estate. You can't get a better country that gives you the opportunities the US does.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Canada has so many amazing things about it. In fact, we're going to be doing 3 meetups coming up here in the next 100 days. I have not been to Canada in almost 20 years. I finally got my parole officer to allow me to go up to Canada. Just a joke. Just kidding, everybody. But we're going to be doing 3 meetups up there. But most of our Canadian members of our community are doing deals virtually into America. Daniel, what is your buy box? What are you looking to buy more of?
So we're doubling down. Actually, my partner, and I got to give him a shout out for this. He's actually on the call. He moved things around to be on this call. Daryl Babineau. You were in Montana with him.
Yeah, Daryl's awesome. We love him.
Yeah. So we're doubling down in Ohio right now. We're focused on 3 cities: Akron, Canton, and Cleveland. We are tackling the affordability crisis. So we're focused on single family, 3 2s, 4 3s in those 3 cities in the state of Ohio.
Are you guys doing Section 8, co-living, or a combination of whatever works?
Co-living. We've got a really good system in place right now. We've got boots on the ground. We're focused. We're dialed in. Everything that you taught us to be, especially in Owners Club, got the buy box nailed exactly as it needs to be. And that's what we're looking at right now. We were in other states, Florida, Georgia, Texas, but nothing beats the system that we've got in Ohio. We're actually trending to hit 18 properties by the end of this year to buy and put into our system of co-living by the end of this year, 18 properties.
Wow. Are you and Daryl bringing in private capital from people inside the community to help you fund some of the costs to renovate and whatnot?
100%. Everything that you teach everybody on the calls every single day is what we're implementing. Bringing a lot of private money lenders. We're also bringing in partners as well, too. People that want to get in on a deal. They want an equity stake, don't know how to get into real estate. We're giving them that ability to partner with us.
I love it. Okay, so I know that we have a gal in the collective community. I think her name is Heather that you just did a deal with you. Is that correct?
Yeah, she's a shark.
Okay, cool. So she joins the community. She finds you inside the community. What was her process? She's copying and pasting addresses from other people, sending them over to you. What was her process? Was it 100 addresses a day? Was it 2 or 3 addresses a day? Walk me through. I meet Heather. Heather gets a deal. Tell everybody in the audience how simple it was, or hell, if it was really hard, tell me that too.
So I got a lot of deals, as you can imagine, Pace, on a daily basis. Some bird dogs are sending me 10, 15 deals a day. Heather was very specific with the property that she wanted to get to us. She copied and pasted this address. We would have never seen it, sent it over to me, and sent it over to Daryl. So I'm actually now working this deal out with Heather. It's got Daryl's attention. Daryl's also working out the deal with Heather. And then Daryl and I connect and we say, there's this really good deal on this table that was brought by this bird dog. Take a look at it. Tell me what you think. We find out it's the same deal that Heather brought to our attention. This was back in July 14th. Within a couple of days, we secured it.
Amazing. Okay, cool. What I love about this, are you and Daryl already working on your buy box together before this happened, or did you guys collaborate and become partners because this happened?
No, so we were working on deals in the past, and then we really wanted to address that affordability crisis. His values, his morals and values align closely with mine. And we really wanted to build a model around co-living. So we sat down and we asked each other, okay, what's your Mount Everest? For those that don't know what a Mount Everest is, it's really that goal that's going to stretch you above and beyond what you think you're capable of reaching. And so Daryl's Mount Everest and my Mount Everest was very, very similar. So we built a model around that, sat down, defined the buy box, and from there we just put it out.
Dude, 18 properties in 1 year. All of this is going to be probably SubTo seller finance combinations, maybe a couple of cash deals in there too.
Yeah, 18 in half a year. So we
What?
actually really started, we really started to ramp up our operations right now. We've been buying properties, but we've never been scaling at this pace. So between as of last month, July till December, we will have 18 properties, if not more.
Wow, guys, give freaking Daniel and Daryl a little bit of love in the comments. 18 properties in 6 months. It's interesting, like when I was watching people doing the BRRRR strategy, not that there's anything necessarily wrong with the BRRRR strategy, but it's like you just get tapped out on capital, you get tapped out on credit, you can only buy so many properties. You guys are going to go and buy 18 creative finance deals. And the cool thing is you're not having to cold call, negotiate, secure all these properties. Bird Dogs will bring some of these to you, which is awesome. Now, for 2026, do you guys have a goal already in mind of what you want to accomplish in 2026?
Yeah, so it's actually very aligned with our Mount Everest, which is helping 1,030 people through the acquisition of 137 homes. That's going to net us 250,000 in monthly cash flow. That's that 5-year goal that we're actually looking to achieve in less than 3 years.
Wow. $250,000 every single month in net cash flow from the properties that you guys are acquiring. Some of them bird dogging, some of them, I'm sure you're direct to seller, direct to agent on some of these deals.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting SubTo members probably bringing you some. You've got other people in the community bringing you some, which is amazing. You guys are bringing other capital partners. Now, Daniel, what if I want to bring money to the table for you and Daryl? How do I get a hold of you guys?
You guys can reach us at Facebook. On Facebook, you can send us an email or hit us up on Instagram. I'll tell you, the bird dogs that get our attention are the bird dogs that do exactly as you tell them, to constantly bother us, because it's not bothering us. We just get bombarded with messages and calls. You actually gave me a shout out in the community, and in a matter of like 3-4 hours, I've got 20 calls, 40 messages, 30 emails, and it's hard to keep up. But the bird dogs that are consistent with the messaging and consistent with the text messages and phone calls, which I don't answer, by the way, I don't answer phone calls, and Pace taught me that. But those that are consistent with reaching out, those are the ones that get our attention.
I love that. Okay, so you guys can see his Instagram handle right there, Daniel, on Instagram. Now, here's what I would do. I would look at Daniel and go, okay, he's got a lot of people getting his attention. 1, this is real. 2, there's buyers out there that are saying, hey, I've got a buy box. Daniel's a polite guy. He's Canadian. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. But at the same time, him and his partner, Daryl, are not going to waste their time if you're sending them stuff in New York City where they don't buy deals. You shouldn't even expect a response. You should know exactly what these guys are buying. He just confirmed it. He says, Heather, the person that just bird dogged a deal to us, did she literally send you one address and got paid?
She sent us one address and got paid. We actually make it so specific. We even provide you with the zip codes to look into as well, too.
So she sends you one address. I've never had a member send me one address and get paid. Well, I shouldn't say that. Jordan Reyes, the first deal I ever did with Jordan Reyes, he brings me a deal. It's the first deal he ever brought me. And he did the same thing. He's like, I know exactly what Pace is buying. He got paid $90,000 on his first bird dog deal.
Amazing.
I mean, it's a $7 million RV park. So it's like, you should be getting paid some juicy numbers. Heather brings you one address. Did she cold call, negotiate, lock up that contract, or did she just find something you guys liked and brought it to you?
She brought it over to us. She found an address that we would have never came across, sent it over to us. She actually took one step further and started negotiating, only because I was tied up on so many properties and Daryl was tied up on so many properties that we were analyzing. So she went out and started negotiating based on what we were looking for to structure the deal that was going to make it as attractive as possible. But literally just a copy and paste got our attention, and she got paid on that deal. Now, here's the thing too. Not only did she find us a deal, but she also found, at least I can say and speak on my behalf, the nicest property that now I hold in my portfolio. And I've renovated properties so many times, just like you have. This is probably the nicest turnkey property I'm going to have in my portfolio now.
It's interesting, Daniel. Let's ask this question. I know you know the answer, but let's just hear it from your perspective, maybe your own wording. Why would somebody like Heather not just own that property herself? Like, why would she bring Daniel and Daryl the deal instead of owning it herself? Why is bird dogging beneficial to her maybe in this phase of her life?
Could be for many reasons. One, maybe she's just tied up with her own capital in some sort of projects that she's in. Could be that maybe she doesn't have the experience. Could be that she's never tapped into the US market, where she's tapped into the Canadian market. There's so many factors, so many reasons why. Or even some people just want to do this as a full-time gig, and this is a way of supplementing their 9 to 5, or they're doing it as a hobby. There's so many reasons, but there's no reason why nobody can do it. If Heather can just copy and paste an address and send it off to us and get paid on one deal, on the very first deal that she sent off to us, there's no reason why nobody else can do that.
Amazing. Now, guys, if I'm watching, we got about 1,000 people combined between here and YouTube. I would go to Daniel's Instagram right now. I know he's not going to be able to reply to me right away. It might take him a couple of days to reply, but I want to see if Daniel can get like at least 500 DMs. It'll take him 6 months to go through just to see what this guy can do. I would send him a DM, or even find him on Facebook, and I'd say, hey, Daniel, I want you to be a future buyer of mine. Also, here's the other thing I would think about. A lot of people are going to look at Daniel and go, I want you to be my buyer, and send him deals. Another way to look about this relationship is go, well, Daniel, if you have a lot of deal flow, you and Daryl have deal flow, I've got a little bit of cash. Maybe I can dump some of my cash and become a private money lender of yours and get some active income, like some interest coming in on a monthly basis. Are you guys looking for private money lenders?
Always, 100%. We're always looking for private money lenders.
Okay. Would Instagram DMs be the best way to go, or Facebook?
Instagram, I'm always on Instagram. Facebook is secondary. So if you can hit me up on Instagram and get my attention, then yeah, you're getting a response from me.
Okay, Daniel, do you ever coach people on, I know you're not necessarily a fitness coach as a full-time thing, but I know you give advice to people constantly about fitness. Do you ever see people do like 100 push-ups and all of a sudden they can bench 300 pounds?
No.
Do you see a lot of people you give advice to that the number one problem they have is just the lack of consistency?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any advice for bird dogs as it relates to maybe consistency, or, hey, don't get down? What advice do you have for bird dogs that are watching this right now?
It's so simple. I mean, everybody, at least most people on this call, have heard the old adage that success leaves clues. But even when it leaves clues, you have to go through the trials and tribulations of figuring things out on your own. You literally give the blueprint to people. They just have to implement. And most people don't. They'll implement it for a few days and then they don't get the return they're looking for, or the outcome, or the response. Like you mentioned earlier, somebody doesn't pick up their calls and they get discouraged and they hang their head low and they quit. Real estate is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And if you're giving them a blueprint and all they have to do is just act on that on a day-to-day basis, whether it's 3 hours a day or even half an hour a day. I mean, Heather just sent us one link that maybe took her 5 minutes to come across and shoot it over to me and Daryl. There's no reason why you can't be successful, especially with a blueprint given to you. So yeah, consistency, be very meticulous, know exactly what your buyer is looking for and deliver on that. And don't be transactional. The people that reach out to me asking for JV agreements up front, I don't even respond to them. My word is my bond. And if you've got trust issues, that's okay. Let's get to know each other. It's a dating game. But if you're already asking for a ring on your finger, I'm not interested.
Okay. So yesterday I'm in the studio, I'm doing a recording, and my studio is downstairs in my movie theater. One of my guys comes over to me and goes, hey, do you mind if I light the candle in the studio while we hang out here? I go, of course, let's light the candle. I love vibing out with the candle. Let's go. So he's got the candle. He's looking around for a lighter. And he goes, hey, do you know where a lighter is? I'm like, bro, figure it out. Like, go find the lighter. He goes, but where would I find one? I go, upstairs in this drawer. Guess what he does? He goes, you know what? Forget it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gave you the candle. I told you where the lighter was. And when you found out it was 50 steps away from where you were, you decided, nah, I don't want to light the candle. What I find is a lot of new people say they want to light the candle. They say they want the benefits of having this amazing candle, But when it comes down to actually going and doing the work, even if somebody literally tells them what to do and when to do it and where to go get the thing and the tool, they go, yeah, maybe I don't want it that much. So guys, if you really do want to light that candle, we're giving you not only the candle, right? We're training you on what bird dogging is. At the end, I'd say Wednesday night, Thursday, I'll also show you how to light the freaking lighter and burn that candle and put the action to the candle. So Daniel, I appreciate you tremendously. Thank you so much. You've become a good friend of mine. I adore you. One day I will have half the body mass that you have, and you will have twice as much of a portfolio as I will. You and Daryl will outpace me, I'm sure of it. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Guys, reach out to Daniel, whether it's doing a deal with Daniel or it's bringing capital to his doorstep and saying, hey, Daniel, I know you're busy with deal flow. You can only do so much. Let me bring you some cash. I'd go to his Facebook link in the side chat or his Instagram link in the side chat. Daniel, you're the freaking man. I appreciate you.
Love you, brother. Thanks for having me.
Love you too. My Canadian brother. I can't wait to hang out with you in Canada. We'll do a big old freaking meetup. So here's what's cool, guys. You see, what did we learn? Like, this is what I want you guys to do. Go in the side chat. I want to see what was the number one thing you took away from Daniel. Is it, wow, I know this is real. Wow, that was really cool. I saw one address Heather did. Okay. Was it, okay, 18 houses in 6 months. That's incredible. Pamela says, I found out he's not single. Oh, I love that. Stay consistent. Don't give up. Barrett Morrison says it really works. Doing the work can pay off. Don't give up. Persistent, follow through. Okay. Consistency, action equals results. High specificity. Ooh, I like that, Nick White. Absolutely. Super admirable Mount Everest goal. Thank you. Every one of our Owners Club members, we all focus on doing something that will change the industry. I look forward to watching Daryl Daniel and Daryl go and change the industry by actually doing that. Swing home run, act on the blueprint, attention to detail, truth is key, consistency and determination. How many ladies thought that dude was handsome AF? Like, that's what a man should look like. That's what I'd take away. I'm like, man, why can't every dude look like that? You know what I'm saying? Teresa says yes. Ray says yes. Audrey says, hell yeah. I don't know why God didn't just all make us look like him. I'm trying. I'm working on it. I promise. But my wife is happy with the way I am currently. Okay. I like this a lot. Sean Dorsey says, I'm a straight man and I can agree. I agree. I'm like, I look at Brad Pitt and I'm like, that's what a specimen looks like. Okay. 100%. He was good on Guardians of the Galaxy. I actually think he's funnier in real life, but he was good on Guardians of the Galaxy. All right. So there you go. There's a buyer, right? There's somebody who's actively buying deals. And so on Thursday, I will actually show you guys. Tito Dominguez says, how do I get into the SubTo course? Guys, I don't have a course. I have a community. It's kind of like a country club of people doing deals with each other. The SubTo community. We'll talk about that another day, but not today. We're not going to talk about how to get into SubTo community because that's not why we're here. Okay. So we already talked about how do I find buyers. Now let's talk about the activity, right? What are the activities that I do as a bird dog on a daily basis? What are the ways that I know I'm going to be successful by doing these activities? Now, tomorrow, we're going to talk about suppliers. How do I find these deals, right? Where did Heather find that deal to bring to Daniel? Now, the cheat code is Heather is in the community as well. So she knew Daniel. She knew where deals were coming from inside the community. It was a place that Daniel wasn't actively looking because he's busy doing what he's doing. And so there was a cheat code, right? Those three people, or those Daryl and Daniel and Heather, they all are in the same community. And so they're actively doing deals with each other. Kind of a cheat code. They're in the country club, right? It's easy to play golf with people in the country club when you're part of the country club. But I'm not going to give you that answer because some of you guys are not in SubTo. So I'll give you answers tomorrow on where we find that deal flow. Where do we find those deals? That will be the main focal point of tomorrow. For the next 20, 30 minutes, let's talk about the activities that need to be done on a daily basis. Okay. Chris Satian says, I currently have a property under contract in Cleveland, Ohio right now. Section 8 ready, triplex 22 cap. Please bring me up. I will sell you my property now. Chris, I will not buy a property with cash and turn it. And by the way, I do not want to buy. This is interesting. Okay. This is also very interesting. Watch this. Chris, who has been very persistent bringing up his property. Chris, what's up?
Hey, hi. Can you hear me?
Chris, why would I not buy this deal? Give me a couple of reasons why I would not buy your deal. I don't even know the address. Why would I not buy the deal?
It's not your buy box. I actually meant that message for Daniel. That's exactly his buy box. So it fits Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, cool.
And
But what is he not buying? He's not buying cash deals.
he said he was buying creative deals, but it's a pretty good deal. It has a lot next to it, which is kind of like the creative part where I'm giving it away with it.
Okay, and is this your property or is this a seller you negotiated with?
It's a seller I've negotiated with. I currently have it under contract.
Okay, so you're the wholesaler.
Yeah.
Got it. What I would do is I would just reach out to Daniel Hasibi directly, and I would Instagram DM him or go on Facebook, and I would reach out to him directly and get that property over to him. Here's the downfall to people that are doing cash deals, right? The downfall is that once somebody learns how to do creative finance, you have a really, really hard time convincing me to buy a property cash unless I can flip it. 22% cash on cash return. Here's the challenge for that, right? Because you've got a triplex 22 cap rate, which is not normally something you use in single family, but totally get it. You got a 22% return on my money. Awesome. We have infinite amount of return on our money, which is impossible to compete with in the traditional world. Why? Because if Daniel's not using his credit, if Daniel's bringing in private money lenders, he's not pulling a loan, pulling credit, he's not having to use W-2, or he's not even American, he's buying American real estate, doesn't have to have a social security number, doesn't have to get an American loan, and he's bringing in private money lenders, his return on his time in that deal is infinite return to him because he has nothing in that deal. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. You know what? I'm Canadian as well. I'm from Montreal, so that's what's funny. If it were to sell to him, it'd be a Canadian selling American real estate to another Canadian.
That's freaking awesome. So I love that. What I would do is I would reach out to Daniel directly, and I would tell Daniel, hey, I know this is not a creative finance deal, so it doesn't make sense to you necessarily, but I can help you find other deals. Chances are this: Daniel only is going to probably buy SubTo or seller finance deals. If he's got to finance the thing and go get a loan to buy the thing, even if it's in Cleveland, Ohio, I would argue with how much deal flow Daniel already has from our existing SubTo community, he's probably going to turn this deal down going, yeah, it would be a deal if I had nothing else to look at. I have so many SubTo and seller finance deals to look at that why would I take the time and the energy to look at a cash deal that would require me to go get a loan, put down payments of my own money, have seasoned funds? Does everybody understand why creative finance dominates traditional real estate? Give me a yes if you understand that. It doesn't make sense for us to go out and get loans. Like everybody's talking about Jerome Powell, okay? Jerome Powell, and what's Jerome Powell doing? We could not give a crap what he's doing. We're getting 0%, 1%, 2%, 3% interest rates, okay? Yes, so Fabiola, this is a great question. I really, really love this. Okay, this is a really, really great question. So we talked about this yesterday, but Fabiola, really wonderful question. We might want to wrap up the day with this question because it's such a freaking great one. Fabiola, how you doing? She's like, oh crap.
Hi.
Hi, what up?
Can
How you
hear
doing?
me?
Yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. Okay, so your question is a good one, and I want you guys to understand the role that you are playing. If your property is not under contract, you are not playing the role of a bird dog.
Got it.
Okay, and that's fine. I'm not saying don't do it. It's just we got to change your understanding. A bird dog is only working on one buyer, and they are only going out and finding houses that are under contract. Now, here's what you're doing. I'm going to tell me where I'm wrong on this, okay? You found a house that is not under contract. You don't strike me as somebody who is outside negotiating, and you don't strike me as a wholesaler. And that means you're not out there marketing. You don't have a tremendous amount of leads. You're not going to go to Daniel and go, hey, Daniel, I got a ton of leads that are coming in. I need help with this one call to convert it and get it into a contract. Will you help me? I'm going to guess that it's probably a family member or a friend or somebody you already know that has a house that you need help getting it into a contract. Is that correct?
Yes.
How am I so good at this business that I can just identify exactly what's going on without you literally didn't tell me a single story?
Okay. Well, the purpose of my question was actually because you haven't talked about how can we get those wholesalers to give us the properties under contract.
Okay, so is the property under contract that you're talking about or not under contract?
Under contract.
Okay, so your question was, does Daniel work on properties not under contract?
Yes.
Okay, so which question do you want me to answer?
How can we get the wholesalers to give us the properties under contract?
Yes, that is what your job is. We're going to cover that tomorrow. So those wholesalers are suppliers. So Heather, the girl who did a deal with Daniel, she brought a deal under contract from another wholesaler and brought it to Daniel. She literally, guys, I'm going to tell you what is the activity of a bird dog. You guys want to know what the activity of a bird dog is? Write this down. It is to copy and paste an address from somebody else to someone else. It is all your entire job, copying and pasting all day long. You are copying the address from one wholesaler and pasting that address to your buyer and saying, what do you think about this?
Okay.
Derek says that is not true. So let's bring Derek up here so he can prove me wrong.
I agree with him.
Okay, interesting. Derek,
Hey,
what's
Pace,
up?
how are you?
How
Can
am
you
I
hear me?
wrong, my friend?
So after last month's bird dog training, jumped out and put it to action. Even linked up with a couple of SubTo members for buying. And
No.
they all request that for a bird dog, we bring extra value to the table, right? That's why we get paid, is to bring value. So when I simply tried and copy and paste the address and send it to the buyers, they want me to go back and find out information from the wholesaler, the supplier, about the deal, such as payment information, mortgage balances, things of that nature. So it creates a position for somebody like myself starting out in bird dogging to now have to go into those conversations that you made perfectly clear that we shouldn't have to have with
No, this
the
is
buyers
so,
and suppliers.
Derek, thank you for bringing this up. You are very 100% wrong. Here's why. Every piece of information they're asking for has already been contracted and negotiated.
Yes.
When you ask for the mortgage statement on a SubTo deal, that's already been negotiated. You're not negotiating it. You're not asking them to lower it. It's already been negotiated. It's part of the contract. So when you copied and pasted an address and a price, and the buyer says, hey, Derek, you're missing the interest rate, you're missing the mortgage statement, you're missing these things. Those are also things that you are literally copying and pasting to your buyer. You are not negotiating one piece of those. You are not asking for information that wasn't already there in the first place. It's just that you didn't give them all the information in the first place.
Okay. So as somebody that's starting out and not knowing that we need all of these
guys, can you hold on just a second?
for
Adrian Gillis
information.
says Pace is 100% right. I just want to be very clear here. Scott Williams, you have a great question right here, by the way. Scott Williams says, is investor lift good? I want to pause here for just a second because what you brought up is so good. So let's finish this with Derek. So Derek has a very strong opinion, which I think we've corrected now. I'm okay with people having a strong opinion. The problem is when you're a brand new person, you have no idea what you're talking about. And what happens is you don't know what information to copy and paste. And so when your buyer says, hey man, you're missing some information, it'd be great if you brought the value of actually pulling all the information to me. Could you please go get me the mortgage statement? You're not negotiating. You didn't negotiate a single thing. You didn't contract it. You didn't have to extract data that didn't already exist. And the people that you went and asked the information from, they didn't go, hey, Derek, that doesn't exist. They were like, oh, yeah, let me get that to you. No possible way that if they already had the house under contract, they didn't already have that information. So I want to make sure before I move on to the next point that we all understand that Derek is new. And Derek just admitted, he's like, yeah, you're right. Like I didn't have to negotiate any of that stuff. You just didn't give your buyer all the information that you needed to copy and paste. And when your buyer says, hey, Derek, you're missing things, you still went back to your supplier and copied and pasted the information you were missing. Can I get a thumbs up that everybody understands that? Okay. Derek, in his own perception, might have felt a certain way. He's like, gosh, dang it. You're right. I didn't have to negotiate anything. I just had to get extra information. So sometimes you'll see people in the side chat, guys, I will never say something that's incorrect because I can substantiate it, one, by my experience, and I can substantiate it by hundreds of people that are also doing these deals. You are literally copying and pasting. That is what you do all day long. Now, you have to find a buyer. Okay. So once you find a buyer, which we'll do, I'll give you guys some buyers on Thursday. And yes, you have to go find suppliers, which is what I'll show you tomorrow. But once you get your buyer, one, and probably about a dozen suppliers, which I'll show you tomorrow, everything is copy and paste. Everything is copy and paste. Copy this, paste here. Copy here, paste here. That's it. And what will happen with new people is they will overthink everything. Now, Scott Williams brings up a really, really great point. Scott, thank you for bringing this up, okay? I'll tell you where you're going to get into really bad trouble. I'll tell you a website you should not be using. Scott Williams, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Scott, great
Okay.
question. So he says, can we use websites like InvestorLift? Yeah, let me show you something real quick, okay? This is something bird dogs should not be doing. I got a text very similar to this today where I was just like, wow, I will honor an InvestorLift lead, but other bird dogs will, or other buyers will not, okay?
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because other bird dogs are going to, people that are not inside of my community, other buyers are going to go around you.
Right.
If you send them an investor list. I want to be very clear here because people that don't like to pay attention to, can we all agree that a lot of people on my training, I say the thing and then 4 minutes later, they're asking a question about the thing I spent 17 minutes on.
Right.
Scott, have you seen that happen to me 100 times?
Yes.
It's crazy, isn't it? How little pay. By the way, guys, there's no such thing as competition. Most people don't even pay attention to jack diddly squat. They just don't pay attention. They have the attention span of a gnat. So Scott, you have such a great question. I'm going to pull it up right now. Check this out. Okay. So somebody is obviously following along my bird dog training. Okay. So he sends me a text today. You can see this today. Hi, my name is Aldo. I was wondering if you buy properties in Maricopa County. I have a really great deal to run by you. Let me know a good time to discuss. I said, yes, I am. Great. First and foremost, guess what immediately turns me off right away?
I don't know. Oh,
He is an
Google.
Android. I will not,
Oh.
why do I not like green bubbles? Do you have green bubbles, Scott?
No.
Why do we as iPhone users not like green bubbles? Tell me why.
That's it's not a real person, is it?
How, yeah, exactly. How do I know if this is a real person or not? If it was a blue bubble, would I know it's a real person?
Yes.
Yes. So Android users, do you guys all understand why us iPhone users like to use iPhones? We can immediately tell if it's a real person. Right now, let me ask you guys, is this a real person? Let me give you guys a couple of options, okay? Watch this. Let's see if we can do a poll here. I wonder if I can do a poll. Well, we're going to do a 3-point. Oh, yeah, I can. I can do a poll here. This is sick. Okay, we're going to do a new poll. Okay, A. Okay, let's see this. Is this a real person? Okay, untitled question. Real person or Android? This is going to put the thing, people think I hate Androids. I don't. I hate wondering if it's a real person or not. All right, so here we go. Required shows a drop down. Okay, cool. Let's see, save and save as webinar poll. Boom. Okay, can you guys see that poll? Oh, let's
No.
launch it. There we go. Can everybody see this poll?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Guys, vote on this for me real fast. The only people that are texting or putting a vote as a real person are who? Android users. The only person that would vote on real person is an Android users because they're weird and petty about their phones. Guys, I don't care. Okay, but here's the thing about it. Okay, if I end the poll, here's what I'm going to teach you guys about Androids. I know people are like, oh, Pace, you're crazy. Why do you always beat up people on Androids? Can you guys all see the results? I let a couple hundred people vote. 400 people voted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's an Android. I don't know if it's a real person, if it's a fake person, if it's a CRM. I don't know. If it was a blue bubble, what is one thing I 100% know is true? In the side chat, what is 100% thing I know is true? It's a real person or no? There you go. Do you guys now understand why everybody likes to use iPhones? Is because I want to know that I'm dealing with a real person. I'm sorry, your Android feelings are hurt, but it's true. Pace, you're an elitist. Yeah, you're right. I am. So Scott, this is important. That's an important thing for you to take away from this. I know you're an iPhone user, but immediately when somebody sends me a thing in a green bubble, I assume this is coming from a CRM or a spam bot.
Right.
Okay. This is all automated. This is not even a real human being. Okay. This is all automated because if he was manually texting me first and foremost, would he need to guess if I was buying in Maricopa County?
He'd already know.
He'd already know. Okay. You then give me the green bubble. I immediately am like, yep, bot. Okay. So what does he do? You see this right here? See this link down here, Scott?
Mhm. Uh-huh.
Where does it go?
Trash.
No. This link right here at the bottom. Can you see the words?
Let's see.
It's an
click below
investor
preview.
lift link.
Investor lift. Oh, okay. I see it now. I didn't.
It's
brought him
not
up.
even his house. He's sending me an investor lift link of another wholesaler.
Okay.
So he's trying to bird dog, but here's the problem. If I go to here, I'll click on the link and I'll show you guys where this goes. Guys, you should not be using investor lift unless you know your buyer is somebody that's not going to go around you. Because if you are doing investor lift as a bird dog, your buyer's going to go around you.
Okay.
Why? Because check it out. If I go here, I'll do a screen share. Don't worry. This is going to answer your question really well, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me an investor lift link. Do I need you anymore?
No.
Look who the supplier is. Lath EHS Homebuyers. Do I need you anymore?
Not at all.
Holy crap. You see what happened? This guy says, my name is Aldi or whatever his name is, Aldo. My name is Aldo. I was wondering if you are buying properties in Maricopa County. And then he sends me the link. Look at this. My name is Aldo. I'm wondering if you buy properties in Maricopa County. I got a deal. Perfect. Gives me the address. What does he do? He sends me a link to somebody else's property with that somebody else's contact information attached to it.
Right.
Is that smart or just absolutely holy crap? What are you doing with your life?
Holy crap, what are you doing with your life?
Okay. Have I answered that question?
Yes, you have. I appreciate it too.
Guys, give me a yes. You understand you do not use investor lift for bird dogging. Okay. I love this. Somebody just says, Carrie Ann says, this is all making so much more sense now. Thank you. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but how do I make a good informed decision about which markets I want to bird dog in? Yeah, you definitely probably overthinking. But we already started. We talked about that yesterday. Start with your own city. Okay. Same thing, guys. Investor base, any of that kind of stuff. Okay. So I have an Android, not a good thing, huh? Steve Castillo. I'm sure your mom loves you. I'm sure that other people really like you, but I'm going to tell you, at some point, you always all want to be millionaires, I imagine, right? I don't know anybody making a lot of money that has an Android. I just don't. Sorry. Chloe Moore says, I'm a droider and never knew people thought we were bots. Hey, where are my iPhone users? We all think when we get a green bubble, we think you're all bots and fake scammers. You're an iPhone user. Your immediate thing when you get a green bubble, what is your first thing you think? Scam.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Immediately. We literally think you're a scammer, you're a bot, you're from a CRM, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. It is blue bubble or nothing. I'm not communicating with you on a green bubble because I assume you are. Yeah, I agree. Tommy Sprague says that sucks about Androids. Did I say Android phones suck? Did I say their camera sucks? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying we as iPhone users, which are typically people that spend the money on the $1,500 phone, those are the people you want to do business with because I know that when you text me or you communicate with me, I know you're a real person. Also, if you are an iPhone, this is all business related. Pace, why do you keep beating on iPhones? Because if I had it my way, everybody would have an iPhone because it will make your life easier. I promise you it will make your life easier. Somebody sends me a text from Green Bubble, I'm like, delete immediately. Okay, so Scott, Investor Lift. I'm going to tell you something interesting. Check this out, okay? I'm going to confuse you now. You ready?
Yes.
Oh, she left. Dang it, she left. Okay, one of my bird dogs, her name is Dajé. I talked about her story last month. Do Do you remember Dage's story or do you not know?
Yes, I do. I remember.
Dage sent me the deal that her and I did. I have just sold it. I'm going to make 55 grand. She made 5 grand in like 15 minutes of work. Dage, she sent me, there's a SubTo member that uses Investor Lift to sell his properties all the time. So she was pulling his addresses and bringing them to me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My team will honor that. We will look at it and go, we don't care where the deal came from, but if you were the first person that sent it to us, you get credit. So even though it was an Investor Lift deal, I honor where people send. I don't care where you send it from. I want to do deals. Is everybody like me?
No.
No. People in SubTo community, I'd say, are way higher level than somebody in a free Facebook group. But my feeling is you shouldn't even trust me with an Investor Lift deal. You shouldn't trust anybody with an Investor Lift deal. What is Investor Lift? For people that don't know. Wholesalers go out and get houses under contract. They then go and put them on Investor Lift or even creativelisting.com. And then they're trying to sell them to people on this website. Okay. Dage was just like, I'll just go to Investor Lift because that's where the SubTo member's selling all his deals. And she was copying and pasting Investor Lift leads to me. My team just says yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. We say yes. Okay, great. She makes $5,000. Most people that see an Investor Lift thing, they're like, why don't I just reach out to the wholesaler directly and cut you out? Like, you literally as a bird dogger should not be doing that whatsoever. Stay away from Investor Lift if you are a bird dog. Stay away from, what's the other one? Somebody said Investor Crunch or some Captain Crunch or whatever it is. Okay? If not using Investor Lift, how can we send safely a deal to a potential buyer? Copy and paste. I'll show you. Watch. I have a guy named Ernest in my community that sends me deals like 5 times a day. I'll show you how he does it. I don't reply to most of his stuff because he knows where he should be sending them. He should not be texting them to me, but I think he just has like an automated system going on. So he just keeps sending them. And sometimes we text back and forth, but hold on a sec. Most of the time I don't reply, but he just does it anyway. So this is what it looks like. Check it out. Okay. He sends me Dropbox links. He downloads the photos, and this is how he sends the stuff. This is literally what a bird dog does. Okay. Copies all of this information from another wholesaler. Here's the address. Here's the information. Seller to open to SubTo. Here's the photos. Sends me another one. Sends me another one. This is literally his whole-time job. I've probably done 20 deals with Ernest. Okay. Most of the time I don't reply. Why don't I reply to Ernest Scott Williams?
Too busy.
Yeah, he should be sending them to my team, and he knows that, but I think he just has an automation. So it's not that when you guys are looking at the text thread, you're like, wait, Pace isn't replying. He is also, I think he just needs to turn the automation off. He is also sending them to where he should be sending them. And my team does buy deals from Ernest, but he just keeps sending them to me via text. But did you see any Investor Lift link in there? Or did he download the photos, put them on Google Drive, and then put them into the group chat?
Second. He did the second. He didn't, no Investor Lift whatsoever.
Do not send links to other people's deals. Download the information, copy, paste it, send it over. That's it.
You know, I thought about that too. I'm like, what do I need them for if I can get the information from right here, you know?
Yeah, that's it. Right. So does that make sense to everybody that what your activity is? Like what you're doing on a daily basis is you're literally copying and pasting addresses and sending them to people like me. It's truly that simple. People want to wow, that's crazy simple. I know, Betsy, I'm telling you, I'll bring in some people, but you connect the buyer and the wholesaler, right? Interesting. No, you do not. This is a really interesting one. Thomas Beltran, but you connect the buyer and the wholesaler, right? Scott, you can hang with me as long as you want. You can leave whenever you want, but I'm just going to leave you up here. Okay. If you have a question, go ahead and ask. Thomas, what up? How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
This is such a great question. Please, everybody in here, I want to make sure you guys know this. I've got 750 people here, plus a couple hundred people on YouTube. Please understand this question Thomas has is such a great question. You, as a bird dog, I will find out who your wholesaler is. When will I find out who your wholesaler is?
Well, you're gonna find it out when I send you the information of who that person is, right?
No, you would never do that. I don't know why you would ever do that. I either say yes to the property or no to the property. You're not going to introduce me to the wholesaler. When do I find out who the wholesaler was?
Is that I don't know. That's why I asked, because we never do a JV contract with them to then do a contract with you, because they were just JVing.
Mm-hmm.
And you say yes to the property. Let's pretend you say yes to the property. Then my next step would be what for you to be able to, like, okay, send the I have that person send an agreement to you.
Okay, so Thomas, all right, let's no more guessing. I'll just give you the answer.
Yeah.
When I buy the property and the title company sends me all the statement of everybody that got paid on the transaction, I then see who your wholesaler was after I've already bought the property.
So he already opened escrow. He's looking for a buyer. He sends me the property. I send you the link. You say yes.
No, you do not. You do not send me a link. I just told you.
I mean the information, the text.
Send me the information. I don't want a link to their investor lift. I don't want a link to their website. I want a link. I want the address, the purchase price, the photos, and the information. Copied and pasted.
You say yes, and then you communicate with the title company.
That is correct.
Okay, got it.
And then when we close escrow, I can walk through this, like paint a picture with you guys tomorrow, show you where the money flows, all that kind of stuff. I'll show you that tomorrow. And what happens is when I close escrow, this is important for you to know. I buy the property, the title company sends me a settlement statement, okay? Let me see if I can find a settlement statement on a deal in Tempe. I just closed one a couple of weeks ago. Was it Cornell? It's not Cornell. Hold on a second. Tempe, I want to show you guys exactly what the settlement statement looks like. Hold on just a second. Okay, Tempe settlement statement. I'll pull it up tomorrow. This is like one of those things where Cornell, is it 2170 East Cornell? May 29th. Okay, maybe this is it. Hold on just a second. Okay, I think this is it. Hold on a second. I got to find the settlement statement so I can pull it up and you can see all the parties involved. Oh yeah, this is it. Okay, and buyer, F&F, assigner, Maddie Richards. Okay, settlement, assigned, F&F, assignment, operating agreement, title commitment. Sorry guys, I get all these emails, my team runs all this kind of stuff, but I want to show you guys what the final document looks like. And when you see the final document, you'll go, oh, that's so simple. Now, what I want you to understand is that when I buy a deal and I see your wholesaler, this is one of the downsides of being a bird dog. Please pay attention to me. If you are a bird dog and your buyer finds out who your wholesaler is, what will happen is you have a high likelihood of them working their next deal without you, because now they'll just start texting people directly. Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay, now what I do with my bird dogs, please pay attention of how I set it up with my bird dogs. The way I set it up with my bird dogs is I tell you, look, I'm going to find out who your wholesaler is that brought you the deal. So if you bring me a deal, I find out who the wholesaler is. Check it out. Here's what a settlement statement looks like. Check it out. So Maddie Richards right here, she is the person, the homeless lady. Matt Justice, one of my SubTo members, got paid before she did, so he found the deal. Coconut Properties, another SubTo member of mine. Natalie Gallant, another SubTo member of mine. EMD for Dow Ventures is a Gator who funded the EMD. Jamil came in and funded somebody else's EMD. You can literally see everybody that was involved in the transaction. See how it's called the closing statement?
Mm-hmm.
This is after everybody's already been paid. I finally find out everybody that's involved. So what I do with my bird dog is I tell them, if you bring me a deal, I will honor your relationship with that wholesaler for the next 5 transactions. So I'll do 5 more deals with that wholesaler with you getting paid on every transaction. But at some point, you're not bringing any more value. You need to find a new wholesaler to bring more deals from. Does everybody understand that's how I do it, but not every buyer is going to do that with you? Can I get a yes?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Okay, so you should expect, okay, people to not be as nice as I am. I'm very generous. I love including people in my transactions. Most of my bird dogs are like, wait, hold on a second. Wait. What, you're telling me somebody could work around me? Yes, this is the downfall to being a bird dog. Okay. There are downfalls to having very, very simple, okay, very, very simple strategies that anybody can get into. Okay. Makes sense. So helpful to understand. I was worried about wholesaler going around me as a bird dog. Cathino, they cannot go around you until the deal closes and you get paid. They wouldn't even know who your buyer is. There's physically no way for the buyer to know who you are. I'm sorry, for your buyer to know who the wholesaler is, as long as you don't text them an investor link. That's the stupid thing. Like, here's the website that I found it from. Here's the link that goes directly to the communication. Like, do we all understand that you should not be doing that? Like, give me a yes so we understand. We're not copying and pasting a web page. We are taking the information off that web page, okay? Do not do that. Okay, don't do that. That's silly, 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 silly. Do not do that ever, ever, ever. Just download the photos and put it on your own Google Drive if you need to, okay?
Gotcha.
So why is it called a bird dog, Luke O'Connor? Because you need to understand a bird dog captures the birds that a hunter shoots down. So a hunter shooting down birds, a bird dog goes out there. Guys, Google what a bird dog looks like, right? Have you ever, tell me you've never been part of a hunting family without telling me you've never been part of a hunting family. Okay, so watch this. Bird dog hunting. Check it out. Images. See these bird dogs? They see what they do? They capture the bird. They go get the deal. They track the deal down for the hunter. That is why it's called a bird dog. They will go and track it down. They're like pointers, and they will go capture it. So there's your buyer right there with the gun. There's you by his side chasing down the deal. Do we all understand why it's called a bird dog now?
Indeed.
Okay, cool. Maybe I should have started with that, but I guess we need to be taught basic stuff like that. No problem.
It's actually pretty slick. I like that.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, it's like Duck Hunt. It's like Nintendo Duck Hunt. Okay.
Boy, that's old.
Quick
all right,
question.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have to reduce the amount of back and forth? Like, earlier the guy said, no, that's not true. To reduce the back and forth, is there some type of list? Whenever we get the information from the wholesaler, everything that we need to
You're
provide. So,
overthinking it. Do not even ask this question. You're overthinking it.
all right.
He comes from a mindset of like, it should literally be copy and pasting and I shouldn't have to do anything else. And when your buyer asks you a question and you have to go back to your supplier and ask that same question, that's going to happen no matter what, right? So for example, okay, there's certain things that your supplier is just not going to give you right out of the gate. Like they're not going to waste your time with like CCNRs. Do you know what a CCNR is?
Nope.
Okay. Nobody else does, but your buyer will know what a CCNR is. CCNR is a set of documents that an HOA tells you what you can and cannot do in a neighborhood. Why do I need to include the CCNRs with me sending out the address unless my buyer is actually interested? So a lot of times, please pay attention to this. This is so important. When my buyer asks me a question about the deal, that is a good thing. That means they're asking buying questions. Hey, can you get me more information about the CCNRs? Hey, can you get me more information about the mortgage statement? Wouldn't we say that that's a great question?
Yes.
Okay. What a broken mindset does is goes, oh my gosh, they're asking questions and Pace said I only have to copy and paste. Bro, they're literally asking for more information about the thing you're going to make money on. How dare you? How dare you have that mindset of they're not going to, you know what I'm saying? So they're also not going to supply everything about everything. So for example, okay, you see, Thomas, you single?
No, I'm not.
You married?
I have a girlfriend. I'm divorced.
Okay, you have a girlfriend. Cool. Okay, so when you went on your first date, it was a blind date. You didn't know what she looked like. You didn't know anything about her, right?
Actually, no. I met her dancing.
Okay, here we go. Perfect. So you're a buyer of this girl, okay?
Mhm.
You are obviously interested in what she looks like, how she dances, what she's into, but did you have all of the information about her in your first encounter with her?
No, of course not.
Okay. So we had to ask a couple of questions about, hey, how many sisters do you have? What does your life look like? Where were you born? You had to ask some of these questions, right?
Mhm.
These are buying questions, my friend, which means she goes, wow, he's interested in me. Aren't these great questions?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What if all you did was dance with her, try and kiss her, and never call her again? You were never a buyer in the beginning, right? You weren't a serious suitor for that person. So when your buyer asks you questions about the deal, like, hey, what are the CCNRs? You go, what the heck is a CCNR? Just say you don't know what a CCNR is.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm brand new. Like I told you in our first conversation, which I'll give you guys the scripts tomorrow. I'm brand new, so I don't know what CCNRs are. Can you tell me what that is? Your buyer will tell you. Oh, it's the covenants, right? It's the covenants of the restrictions of the HOA to tell me what I can and cannot do in that HOA. Can I do an Airbnb? Can I do a midterm rental? How long are my rentals? Like they'll tell you all that stuff.
Yep.
And what he was complaining about is he basically sent the address, the purchase price, a little bit of details, and some photos. His buyer came back and go, I like this. Can you get me a mortgage statement? And he's like, see, what Pace said is a lie. He literally said that in the side chat. He says, Pace is lying. Or he says, that's not true, is what he said.
Yeah.
Like, they're asking you more information about the girl you're dancing with. They
So-
obviously are interested in the deal.
So he could have gotten paid already, basically.
Yes, he could have done the deal. So the buyer is saying, hey, I'd like the mortgage statement. Can I see who the servicing company is, who did this? Do I have to negotiate for the mortgage statement, or has the wholesaler already gotten that in his pocket?
He should have it in his pocket.
He has it in his pocket. Okay. So but I'm also not going to just flood my buyers with every little detail about every little thing. So for example, if I'm trying to connect a cute girl to my friend, okay, I'm not going to go, hey man, just so you know, she's also allergic to nuts. She's also a really horrible driver, and she has a criminal record of she gets a lot of speeding tickets. Is that how I'm going to introduce a girl to my friend?
Wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. And so what I want to do is know, are you interested in this at all? If you are, you like the price or relatively close to the price, please let me know and I'll get you more information. You see how that works?
Mhm.
I'm not going to connect you and go, hey, Thomas, I know you're not single anymore, or Scott, are you single?
No, happily married.
Okay, he's married. Okay, cool. So you get my point, right? When you were single, if Thomas said they were like, all right, so I got this girl. She's allergic to nuts. She's a horrible driver. She has speeding record. She also like has this really weird thing that she does when she brushes her teeth. She leaves her toothbrush on the counter. It leaves a water stain. Is that an appropriate way to introduce a deal to somebody?
Absolutely not.
No. I want to start out with the stuff of like, hey, here's the address. Here's here's the price. Here's the thing. Are you interested in learning more information? Your buyer is going to say, yeah, I want more information. Can you get me the mortgage statement? And I'm wondering, the power lines or the lot next door, do you know if it's permitted for X, Y, and Z? I don't know. I'll find out from my supplier. Hey, supplier, my buyer wants to know A, B, C. Do you see how easy this is?
Yeah.
I'm not acting like I know anything. I'm literally asking the supplier, hey, my buyer wants to know blah, 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 blah. And I copy the answer and I paste it to my buyer and I go, hey, buyer, this is what my supplier said. Buyer says, awesome, let's do the deal, send the paperwork. Cool. I'm glad I asked those questions I'm glad I got the answer. Am I negotiating at any point in any of that conversation as a bird dog?
No, you're copy and pasting back and forth, basically.
Okay, so do we see how far off he was when he's like, that's not true. He asked me questions about it and I had to do a little bit more work.
I see.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before I unmuted and all that stuff, who would be the connector here in Metro Detroit, the Oakland County area?
You're asking who in my SubTo community could help you.
Yeah.
Are you in SubTo?
No, I'm not. I've been part of the free
That
group
would
for
be
like 5
no.
years.
The answer, a simple answer would be no. I'm not going to connect you with my SubTo community. They're doing deals with each other.
Because earlier you said that if you're not in the SubTo community,
Yeah, you can go find them.
deals
Go in the
with,
free Facebook group.
Okay, got it.
You can go. Here. Let's go through this real quick. Can I tell you how I've gotten in trouble with this?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know who you are?
No.
Have I met you?
Mm-mm.
Have I gone through any background check in order for you to get into my community?
Nope.
No. So here's what's going to happen. I give you her name's Gabby. Okay, Gabby's one of our big leaders there. If I give you Gabby's phone number and you text Gabby and you say, "Hey, Pace, give me your phone number," what do you think Gabby's going to do? You think she's going to give you way more attention, or be like, "Oh, this is annoying. Why do I got to talk to this guy?" Which one is she going to do?
The latter.
No, she's going to, bro. Let's re-ask the question. If I give you her phone number, you text her and say, "Hey, Gabby, Pace gave me your phone number. He said to help me out." Is she going to help you, or is she going to treat you like dirt?
Oh, she's gonna help me.
She's going to help you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you will do this, okay? But let's say you take advantage of her. You steal money from her. You do something wrong. Do you think that's a good look on me because I introduced somebody I don't know to somebody who's in my filtered community?
Yeah, for sure. No.
You see why I would not do that?
Yeah. No, it wasn't like really phone numbers.
No, I get
like
that. I just
socials.
want people to know I'm not gatekeeping. I've just gotten into trouble by doing this, going, "Oh yeah, reach out to Gabby or reach out to whoever." You name a city, I could give you 100 members in that community.
Yeah.
I give you the names and then people go, "Oh, Pace gave me their number. That must be legit." Then next thing you know, they're going on appointments, they're going whatever. Let me tell you a bad story. I connected a community member with somebody who was on a live training just like this 3 years ago. This community member, this is going to sound really bad and it's not meant to be, but it's bad. The community member is a married woman with 3 children. I connect her with a person that is in her local area and she goes, "Oh my gosh, that'd be great. I'd be happy to help you." So she does whatever she can because that's what our community does for each other. She reaches out to this person, takes him on a ride along, goes on appointments with him, gives him a whole day of her time. She posts about him on Instagram going, "Oh, hey, I'm helping one of Pace's friends." First off, he's not my friend. I was just trying to be helpful. Put myself in a bad situation. Somebody notices this guy on her Instagram and says, "That guy is a sex offender and has molested children, and you have 3 children. How the heck is that guy in your car with you right now?" Do you see why I stopped introducing non-filtered people with my filtered people?
Yeah, I got it.
So now what I will do is I'll bring like a Daniel up here and I'll go reach out to Daniel. But what does Daniel know? Daniel knows that he's got to filter people and it's not coming from a recommendation from me where I gave people his, you notice I didn't give his cell phone number away, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do that to protect myself. Sadly, I've been put in really bad situations. So I'm not trying to gatekeep. I've just been smacked in the face and I've had all sorts of bad things happen to me when I do it the wrong way. So use the free Facebook group that I built. Go find my community members, reach out to them. And if you guys want to vet and make sure that they are actually in the SubTo community, email support@subto.com and go, "This person says they're in SubTo." Believe it or not, there's a lot of liars in that free Facebook group that go, "I'm one of Pace's students," and they're not. So email support@subto.com and go, "Is this actually somebody in Pace's community? I want to do business with them, but I want to make sure they have the proper documents. I want to make sure they have the proper training." If anybody ever takes advantage of somebody inside or outside of my community, they get kicked out of SubTo. We keep that group so filtered and so high level. So it ain't going to happen. People don't want to lose it. So they behave appropriately. So, all right, I went 25 minutes longer than I planned today. Hopefully this last section sounded like it actually was super valuable, kind of just talking about the copy and paste and show you earnest text messages and the settlement statement and all of that kind of stuff. Was this last 25 minutes really, really helpful for everybody? Give me a yes if it was, please. Now, tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about suppliers. We're going to show you how to find the suppliers. I'll actually bring a supplier on the chat tomorrow so you guys can get to know why would a supplier not just go directly to the buyers themselves? Like, what does that look like? Why? Okay. So you guys, please we will see you tomorrow. We will start right on time like we do every single time. And tomorrow I'll give you guys a couple of cool gifts, and we will be with you for about 2 hours. Tomorrow I'll introduce you to one more buyer, and I'll introduce you to a supplier tomorrow. And then on Thursday, I'll give you guys a couple of lists that will help you out along the way. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully this has been a lot of fun. I filled in some information you might have been missing. Appreciate you guys tremendously. We will see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. Oh, you guys want to do me a favor? Does anybody in here want to do a favor for me? Everybody's always asking, like, what can I do for you, Pace? You guys want to do me a favor? Okay, check it out. Do me a favor, please. Let's see. Hold on a second. I just released a YouTube video. And this YouTube video actually is like no edits, just like 12 minutes of value. And what it is showing you guys what to do with a Facebook post and how you can make money on that Facebook post. I made it very simple. And let's see. So if you're new to real estate, 8 hours ago. Start if you're new to real estate. Nope. Videos. Okay, here we go. If you guys could do me a favor, go and make a comment on this. I don't care. Just say, here's my name. Maybe you guys could even network in the comments. There's the link right there. I was looking for it, guys. I didn't have the link available. I'm so sorry. Cool. That link, do me a favor. If you guys got any value today, give me a little bit of love in the YouTube comments on how to make money from other people's deals. The guy that asked me this question is actually one of my videographers. And he asked me this question today at lunch, and I was like, oh, dude, this is a great YouTube video. Let's do a video all about this. So if you guys could help me out, I made it unedited, unfiltered. I just did a whiteboard video about this today. Go in here and give me a like, share it with somebody. Please help me out on this. I want Zach to feel like he can ask me any question and not feel embarrassed. He was like all embarrassed about like, should I ask Pace a question? Should I not? I don't want to bother Pace. I'm like, dude, come on. This will provide so much value to people. Do me a favor. This just got launched like an hour ago. Make a comment, watch the video, put it on repeat, like it, share it. Do me a favor, make a comment. We'll see. Here's what I'll do. You know what I'll do? Check this out. I'll give somebody something so valuable tomorrow. What we'll do is we'll do a random poll from all the comments. What I want you to do is make a comment. Say, here's the number one thing I learned in the Bird Dog Challenge today. Make a comment in it, and I will pull a random person out tomorrow. We'll give you guys a really cool prize. The link is in the side chat. Please give my team some love. Let them know that you guys appreciate the YouTube stuff that we make for you guys. We will see you guys back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll have a couple of guests with us, and I'll give you guys a couple of cool gifts.